Welcome to another episode of the Say the Boot First podcast. Tonight we got a special guest in studio, Philly sports guy, hanging out with us. It's our 150th episode. Hang around. We got lots to talk about. You're listening to the Say the Boot First podcast. Boo boo boo. Boo 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 boo. Still one of my favorite.
Yeah, I like
Still
that
one of my favorite. I know you don't like it, Smitty, but you know,
Smitty doesn't like it?
Smitty doesn't like it.
Smitty's a hater.
He is. He
That's
is.
right.
He's a hater.
You just figured that out, Nate. No, actually, I'm a homer. Remember?
All right. Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Say the Boot First podcast, coming to you live from beautiful downtown Willow Grove, the lovely Crack Belt Production Studios, on this fine Thursday evening. I think I already said it was a Thursday evening.
Mm-hmm.
We got a guest in studio with us tonight. You see him on the camera. We'll go around the table real quick, though. This is Jim Marcus. To my left, we got the elder statesman, Donald Kennedy Martin. Deke, what's up? Yo.
What's up?
To his left, we've got Smitty, Ryan Smith.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. To his left, we got the guest of the evening, Philly sports guy, Jamie. What's going on? Thanks for being here with us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're going to have fun tonight. To his left, making another appearance in here, AB, Flan. What's going on, Flan?
2 weeks in a row. I think
2
one
weeks
more
in
and I break a record, right?
There we go. There you know, that's a streak. To his left, we got the Don, DJ.
Yo.
Yo.
What's up?
And then to his left, hanging out over there in the corner, the little one, Brody Marcus. What's up, Brody, man?
What's up?
So, Andrew couldn't be in here tonight, so let's all for Andrew. Sup.
Sup? TikTok, sup?
And then keeping us live and on the air behind the glass there, we got the money man, Nate Money Moss.
Yep.
Going on. All right, it's our 150th episode. We didn't know this until we actually were asked the other night.
Mm-hmm.
When we let me get my sponsors thinking of where we were the other night. So,
Yeah. How did you guys not know this? I
when
even
you-
knew this.
When you're doing things that you love,
We
you don't
lose
keep
track.
track of time.
I know,
You
but
lose
I'm like
track.
a reoccurring guest star, and I knew that.
You know it was
We
150.
keep
Yes.
giving him 10-day contracts.
I know.
I mean, we just should probably just give him.
And I keep
years.
qualifying it, saying it's 150 by iTunes
Well, right.
count.
Well, that's the official.
Because-
Nothing else. That
Yeah, we've done other podcasts. We've
Right.
done live
The
shows.
Super Bowl
we've
show,
had things that haven't
yes.
been recorded. And, we've had shows that have gone like 3 hours. Just like complete shit shows that maybe
Yes.
maybe the whole thing made it or not. But before we get into the show, thanks to our sponsors, insurephilly.com. Get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. Our guy, Matt Maloney, give him a call for all your insurance needs. Keeping us hydrated, powered by Pops, the fine Pops McCann's whiskey. We visited Jay on Tuesday evening to do an episode of his web post or web video. Come on, young guys, what do
No,
we
I'm
call
not
this?
sure what
We
you
weren't
call it.
invited.
Yeah, we weren't invited.
You were invited. You were invited.
Brody
So we sat
wasn't.
down with Jay to do his 2 Extreme show. So keep an eye out for that.
It looked cool.
It was fun just shooting shit with Jay, drinking some whiskey, drinking some beers, and just telling some stories.
kind of like when
keep-
Springsteen, Little Steven go do something. They don't invite the rest of E Street. Kind of messed up, man. I don't know.
Read
The background
read
was
the
nice.
texts. Read the text messages.
The background in his
Yeah.
studio looked cool.
Jay's got a nice collection going, and lots of bottles of whiskey around here.
Oh my God, he's got cases stacked on top of cases.
So if anybody's looking for some fine whiskey, reach out to Jay, Pops McCann's on Facebook. He delivers right to your door.
He's a man.
And Mama Mia's, we had a nice feast tonight. It's National Cheesesteak Day. So we had a couple cheesesteaks, cheesesteak stromboli, wings. You guys love the wings. The wings were good. Sorry, Mama Mia's, that you lost to Burnsies, but it was kind of inevitable. And Burnsies is one of the best wings in the city. But these are good. These are good. All right, we got all the sponsors out of the way.
Little shout to Monkey's Uncle. New T-shirts in stock.
There you go.
Sixers
There you
gear.
go.
Check them out.
I thought you were going to
Go
say
to South.
something Nova, and I was going to say we're not
Nope.
going there yet.
Yeah,
Nope.
we don't want to hear about them.
All right, so before we start talking to Jamie, we have a ritual here when we bring guests in. We have questions, like
Oh yeah.
rapid questions to see where you fall on what side of the table. There's no right or wrong answer. As long as you agree with me, it's the right answer.
No. There's most definitely a
so-
right answer.
Just a few and quick, right off the top of your head. Wings, are you a flats or a drum guy?
Flats.
Wrong.
Oh, already on the right side. You're already on the right side. It's looking
All
good.
right,
We're on
one
the
step
terrible
closer to
side.
the door.
MJ or LeBron?
MJ.
All right, looking good.
All right.
Scrapple, yes or no?
No.
Oh, Delco guy
another
knows
step.
Scrapple.
That's Another step
surprise.
towards the
That's
door.
That's a surprise.
Oh man.
Greatest Eagles center of all time, Chuck Bednarik or Jason Kelsey?
Well, you put Bednarik in there, Bednarik.
All right.
wow.
Good answer. Good answer.
Agreeing with the old man.
Oh, here we go.
Were you happy when Andy Reid won the Super Bowl? Were you happy for Andy?
No.
Nice.
Another good
Good
answer.
answer.
That's
Good
a great
good
answer. That's a great answer.
And the final answer, greatest Eagle of all time for you.
The greatest Eagle.
Yes.
Yeah, of all time.
My favorite is Harold Carmichael.
Okay. All right.
That's
Can't
a
go
different
wrong there.
one.
That's a new one.
That's a
You
good
get-
one.
You get a lot of Dawkins. You get a lot of Reggie.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I have another question. All right.
Oh.
Deeks throw it in more.
Yeah. Palestra, dump or cathedral basketball?
Cathedral basketball.
Thank you. Get out, AB.
Hold
You're
on.
done. Get out.
Dude, yeah.
We're not going to get too far into this.
no,
because
no,
we don't
no.
want to
You
get into it.
disrespected.
And I remember going there.
You
like, back in
disrespected
the
the-
day,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
You disrespected it last week.
I said it
You
was
called it a
it was
dump.
our lovable dump.
No,
But
that's
you called-
different.
no, you
Sorry.
called it a dump.
Say
and
Say
then
you're
you-
sorry.
and then you
Palestra.
tried
There's
to
troughs in the
backtrack.
bathroom.
No,
It's
they got
so
rid of
what?
those.
No, it's all
It's part of
redone.
the charm.
2022.
Where
now.
you been?
All right, fine. I'll take it back for now in the hopes of moving on in this conversation.
And the hope
Even
that-
though you jerks are going to bring it
in the
up
hopes
later.
that Nova will agree to play Big 5 games at the
Yeah,
Palestra.
right,
That's what
yeah.
we're going for, not the ski lodge.
All right. So now let's get into our guest. So if you've seen any Philly sports show or event, you
Every
have to, you have
Philly
to have
sports
seen,
event.
Pretty
You
much
have to
every-
have seen Jamie on there at some point, right?
He's rather ubiquitous, is the word I would use.
Wow, that's a big word.
Yo, we don't
I'm
use
kinda
that language
smart.
around here.
I'm good at Wordle and I'm kind of smart. It's okay.
Can you spell that? What you just said?
None of your kids can, so don't start with me.
Oh man.
So,
Yo, that ain't right.
I meant the kids he teaches.
No, you don't even have to ones he
How
teaches.
dare you
That's even worse.
How dare you? How dare you disrespect
Well, that's a
my
reflection of
students?
Smitty, not of
No,
the
it's
kids.
not. That's disrespectful.
we start down a path and we just go
Gee,
off.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
get
believe-
derailed way too
Dude,
easily.
I'm
The fact that I
offended
could
by
spell
that.
it, does that give me any points?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he can't. He definitely can't.
UBIQUITOUS.
All right, see you
I
later.
can spin it.
Yeah, maybe.
TIOUS.
Yes.
Oh!
That's what I said, isn't it?
You said
1-0.
TOUS.
1-0. 1-0 for the good guy.
All right.
Come on, Razor. The bad guy.
All right. So, like I said, you'll see Jamie at a lot of sporting events. Tonight we got your Eagles gear on. But you do.
Thank you for
All
dressing
for-
up. He did tell us it was a lot of effort. I didn't know that was a question tonight, how long it took to do all this. And
So it ranges. Tonight I didn't go crazy. You know, like
that's
if
not
I-
crazy.
Well, this isn't crazy actually. Like I didn't like for the draft. It'll take me an hour because I'm a lot more meticulous about it because the cameras are going to be on me a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. So tonight I figured it. I mean, I've seen the podcast. I've watched you guys. I figured they ain't going to see me that much.
That's true. We don't shave, so you're good.
There you
So
go.
I assume
Yeah, but you can
November
look at us,
1st is
though.
your favorite day of the year, right? Halloween Adventure. You hit the shit out of that place, don't you? I mean, discount makeup. That's your day, right? That's like Christmas.
Yeah,
Eve.
man.
That's not even close.
You are
Not
starting
even
off
close.
right away.
I gotta be able to buy makeup all the time. So, like,
Where do you buy said makeup?
Well, it depends. Most of the time, I spend a lot of money on makeup
Yeah.
because I got to make sure that, like, when you put it on as much as I do, I don't want to break out. And plus, I'm Italian, so like, I garlic just comes out of my pores. So, but like, I don't want to have like zits. So you got to
Yeah.
spend money on the makeup.
Yeah, you got to get good makeup, baby.
Do you go online or do you go to a store?
Well, sometimes if I know the store has it, I'll get it from there. But most of the time, I get it online.
Makes sense.
So you've got an Ulta card.
No, not Ulta. You think Ulta sells this type of makeup? You know what, though? I'll tell you what. I know you're busting my balls, but it wasn't until I learned about makeup brushes that it used to take me 3 hours to do this because I was using paintbrushes. And then all of a sudden, my stepdaughter left her makeup brushes around, and I'm
Look
like,
at
let me see
AB.
what this
That's
is.
where it starts.
Yeah, and next thing you know, I'm like, holy shit, this is like a lot faster. Oh, am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
I think we might have done
Yeah.
said a few already.
Yeah.
Yeah, AB's curses a lot.
The
on this
young
show.
ears has heard most of it already. We just tell them not to say it again in front of mom.
Yeah.
Or in school. Don't say it in school.
So, I mean, I have a rule. Like, one of my rules is that I don't curse, I don't sit down, I don't shut up. But like when I'm doing podcasts and we're like just kind of
Yeah, just
Yeah,
shooting
we're
the
just shooting
shit.
shit. We're good.
Yeah, we're
We're
good.
Wait,
Right.
so at a game you're staying up the whole time?
well, you can't do it at hockey games or basketball.
I was gonna
games.
say.
Right.
Six-
I was just saying, how
Sixers
many people
games.
tap you on the shoulder and like, yo, buddy?
So certain Sixers games, depending on who's behind me, I will. Like the
Really?
day, I tell you, everybody remembers the Westbrook getting dropped with.
Yeah.
I was there. The reason why he was going into the locker room dejected was because I was riding him all night long. There's only 7,500 people in the arena, and
It's not hard to be loud there.
You could hear me across. People were texting me, going, "Man, you got to stick with it, man. You're killing him." He was looking up at me and giving me like the evil eye. Like I had a buddy with me, and he's like, "Oh my God, he's going to come up here and kill you." You know what I mean? Just because I was
Ron
just on him.
Artest.
And then he would have to shoot a foul shot and look directly at me. You know what I mean? Just because of where I was sitting.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was just on him so bad. And, it worked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the kid dropped the popcorn on him. I'm like, that sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, obviously it was a 19-year-old kid who didn't really know much better. And now he's not allowed back in the stadium.
Which is
ever.
ridiculous.
You know what I mean? But,
It's a little much.
But
yeah, I agree with that. But it's
Not.
He
No,
should've
it's
done
not.
it.
It's
He
disrespectful.
should've
No, he should have done, but to ban him forever is a little.
Yes,
much.
ban his ass forever.
Nah, give him a
Yes.
year. He didn't throw a
No.
bottle. It's pop.
I'm with
doesn't
Nate.
matter.
I'm with Nate. You're
No.
too soft. That's why we have problems in society. You give people second chances.
Stop throwing popcorn at people.
I would
Stop.
have given him a 5-year ban.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
A 5-year ban.
So-
I don't know if a lifetime ban was really
I
warranted.
have
I'm-
ano-
I'm
when
okay
when
with it.
ushers see you in their section, do they like monitor you?
The ushers
or-
love me.
Yeah,
The ushers love me. So so now at this point, sometimes I'll like buy a cheap ticket and I'll just go and stand in the aisles. You know,
Yeah, I've seen that. So I sit in 104.
Oh God!
And I saw you-
This is why he's mad.
No, I wasn't mad. I just saw you a couple of weeks ago. I don't know where you came down from, but you were. I watched the crowd around you, and I just kind of watched. I don't know. I watched a combination of interest, eye rolls, annoyance. Some people wanting to take a picture with you. So it's a very mixed reception.
and then you saw the one guy. There was one. I know which game you're talking about. And there was one guy who literally stood right in front of me purposely. His seat was like 6 rows up. Like
Might
he
have
could
been
sat
this
in a
guy.
seat and
No,
been
no,
like-
I'm in 104, so I'm above where the Sixers.
I was in 107. I was in section 107 that night. It was somebody gave me a ticket. I was all the way up top. I
So
never
you-
even made it up there. It was just I came right down. It was like, and I know the guy because my seats are in 107.
Okay.
So I go, I was talking to him and do whatever. And literally I'm standing there and people come up, take pictures and do
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not bothering anybody. I ain't doing anything. But
But
this
what
one
is
guy-
what is the goal? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What is the goal though? Like, what is the ultimate goal?
I bet you I could answer it.
Like, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get in your head because sitting here with you, you actually seem like a nice enough guy, right? And I got a soft heart. You guys are waiting for me to be an asshole. And I'm going to break balls.
And I'm
but-
giving you carte blanche.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm sitting there. I'm like, this guy seems relatively normal.
So,
But then you metamorphosize into,
okay.
Well, I think
So,
the
this
question then isn't first start, not the goal. How it start? Like when did you start doing this and why did you start doing this? Right?
So that's a little bit of a longer story. So
Okay.
I
We
We
got
got
time.
all night.
I've been
Right, Nate?
painting my face for over 20 years for Eagles games.
Okay.
And I would go to away Eagles games because I never wanted to mess with Sean. Sean is
I was just going to mention
Yeah.
Sean
Oh,
Young,
yeah,
who
so-
I'm familiar with. And
and him and I know each other and like we were, like I said, I evolved.
did you guys tag team occasionally or?
Well, he retired. He retired.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that.
Maybe
I'll
he
get into
forced
that in
him
a minute.
out.
Well,
I sat behind him one game.
There
and it
there may be a little bit of truth to that, but I don't want to speak out
That you
loud.
forced him out.
Teaser. It's a teaser.
So, anyways, I would go to away games and paint my face and such like that. And it kind of evolved. I was trying to figure out like what to do. So at my 40th birthday, the Mohawk came into play. Because we're walking around at 3:00 in the morning around New Orleans, and they're like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, why don't we go see if there's a bar that has clippers and somebody shaved my head and give me a mohawk. and Coyote Ugly had clippers and shaved my head.
Wow.
So
That's pretty cool, though.
and then I went there and I did a very unique. I looked like a green and white tiger because I was just trying to figure out something else to do unique because I had a mohawk. And who sits in front of me is Anthony Mackie, who is the Falcon. You know what I mean? Literally, and he comes down and he's like, "Oh, guys, I got this one. I got him." Like, because obviously I stand out in a crowd, and I'm not a quiet guy just in general. So, and it kind of grew from there. The next time I went to New Orleans was the playoff game. Alshon Jeffrey missed the ball.
Yeah, where we
And-
said they would have went to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree.
We firmly believe that.
Yes.
And
That's-
they just didn't. They waited to the 2-minute warning. They didn't even need to make that play
That's
call.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's. I
We'll
agree
get
with
into
you.
we'll get into
For
that
sure.
after talking a little bit.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I go down there, and John Clark.
Mhm.
I'm there 3 hours early in the stadium because I don't know if they're going to let me in with the shoulder pads. It's the first time I'm doing it. I know Sean's not going to be there. He was, sick at home or something like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm bringing the shoulder pads down. I spent a lot of money. I'm in the first row. I'm going crazy. So I'm there 3 hours early, and I'm going nuts from the moment I walk in the door. I'm screaming, this is my house. We got this today, blah, blah, blah. So John Clark has me going. I do an Eagles chant. He's like, come on. So I start doing my thing. Barstool Sports finds it, and it goes viral.
Really?
And
So was Jeff Nadeau involved in Barstool at the time?
Yeah, I
He's
have
another-
no idea. I have no
Okay.
idea who that.
He's
who
not
you're
involved
talking about.
anymore.
No, I know he's
Yeah.
separated, came back, went out. I know. All right.
So, anyways, and then also Bleacher Report took a picture of me because I was calling for a fourth down, and it looked the way they took the picture looked like I was elbowing a Saints fan.
Yeah, so
I actually might
Rowdy
remember that.
Rowdy
I
Philly
might
fans,
remember that.
right? You get that bad. Yeah.
So the Saints fan actually sees the picture and he's like, "Hey, we're famous." I'm like, "Okay." So after the game, they lose. After the game, people are coming up to me, man. They're like, "Man, you went viral." I'm like, what does that mean?
No, I
Yeah.
feel fine.
Yeah, they're like, "You got 5 million views on this Barstool Sports thing," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" So
you were ignorant going into this, ignorant to that part. There was
I had
no
no clue that it was going to turn into this. I come home and I get a phone call asking me to come do a commercial for a charity, and I go down and I do the commercial for the charity. And also I got a lot of airtime for that game. They were showing me a lot for that
well,
Eagles
you're
game.
you
Philly
get
fan in New
airtime every
Orleans.
time you're.
I only say that because I'll bring that back. So I get home, I'm home, and I get this phone call to go do this commercial for this charity. And
What was the charity?
Mascots for a Cure.
Okay. No, cool. Mention it. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
so
I don't
that's-
know if we're giving any money towards it, like through our airwaves, but
Yeah, so
Give it a
yeah,
plug.
but
Charity's
that
charity.
charity was Mascots for a Cure. And so I go down there and we do this commercial, and I have certain Philly sports guy isms. I don't curse, I don't sit down, I don't shut up. I bring it every play of every game all day. Those are like some of the things.
Your motto, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they're
Your
down
mission
40, you're
statement.
still into it.
I'm still in it. I don't care. I can't leave a game early because I'll get so much shit for it. You know what I mean? It's,
Oh, we saw him trying to beat the traffic at, end of the third
Philly
quarter there.
sports
you know
fan
what?
leaving early. in the
I tell you
fourth.
what, it's so great because after everybody leaves, I can beat the traffic anyways because it's all gone.
And they open it, probably take pictures with you after.
So, anyways, they're sitting there and they're like, "Man, your energy is so awesome. You're like the savior of the Philadelphia sports fan. You're like the Philly sports guy. You should see if that name's available."
Yeah.
And it was. And I just started to take it on all the social media. And they're like, "You know what? If you want to do this, we'll help you. We'll teach you how to do social media." And so I started to learn how to do social media. In the meantime, my mother was on her deathbed. And she was, she had emphysema and COPD. And after I do this commercial, she calls me up. She goes, "Hey, you're not too famous to talk to your mom, are you?" And I'm like, "No, Mom, whatever." And we talked for a little while. And she's like, "If this is something that you want to do," it's the first time she ever saw me on TV. She knew I got painted up all these years, but never got shown on television. And she goes, "If you want to do this, if you want to be this Philly sports guy, go ahead and do it." You know what I mean? I think you got so much regret when you're on your deathbed, and she had all these things that she wanted to kind of get off her chest. She goes, "But when you were like 9, 10 years old, you asked me, why doesn't somebody get painted up for all these teams? Why is it that there's only the Eagles that people get painted up for, but never the Flyers or the Sixers, Phillies or whatever? And so if you want to do this, go do this." And I was like, "Oh." Didn't realize that I had asked about this at 9, 10 years old, but maybe I was meant for this. Maybe it was. And like I said, when I tell you some of the stories that I've had that, like my mother worked at the Spectrum. So, from 2 years old, I would watch Flyers games because I was hoping that maybe I'd see her.
Yeah.
She was in the Ovations Club, or what was called the Blue Line Club at the time. So I was never going to see her, but I'm watching the games because I thought I was going to see her on TV. And, you start learning the names. Like I wear obviously I'm wearing number 11 because, I'll tell the story about that later. But I wear the number 19 because of Rick McLeish. Rick McLeish is my all-time favorite Philadelphia athlete because I watched him score goals, and I just, learned how he was able to move on the ice, and watching him win the Stanley Cup and stuff like that. It was just kind of amazing stuff. So it kind of evolved. It was like, okay, well, I'm the Eagles guy. Now I have to learn how to be the Flyers guy. So we got to make a look that's going to be able to transcend.
Did you have people asking, like you went from the Eagles game and then you go to a Flyers game and they're like, hey, you're not painted. Why? Like, what are you doing?
No.
Or you decided, all right, I'm going to do all 4 sports.
So going to that first Flyers game, I was black and orange, with black being the main color. And I'm like, no, this isn't going to work. You know what I mean? It's going to upset somebody, and I'm not trying to upset anybody.
I got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right,
So-
yes,
Yeah,
you're not trying to put on
blackface doesn't
black-
cut it.
No,
Right.
and
Fair.
I specifically asked some friends, like, I'm like,
Right.
hey, what do you think about this?
But the colors are what they are, so you got to figure out how to
exactly.
make it work somehow.
They're like, yeah, you look like a crazy white boy. But I asked, but it's not a matter of just that one person; it's a matter of everybody.
Yeah.
And so, on my first Flyers game that I went to, I got memes. That I said, "Oh, I look like Nemo." And somebody made a Finding Nemo thing, and it was hysterical. I literally was laughing my ass off about it. It was somebody
What
like
are the
you
people-
busting my balls.
What are the people sitting next to you? And I appreciate you sharing the story about your mom. And sorry about your mom passing, genuinely. So I won't make fun of that. I was going to give you shit for 11, but you have a story with that. I thought you were wearing a Wentz jersey all along. What are the people around you? You have season tickets to?
I have season tickets to the Flyers. I have a partial plan for the Sixers. I buy tickets to every Eagles game.
All right. So the Flyers fans, I don't have season tickets, but I've sat in season tickets, and I know they're very, I would say, particular, right? I've been down there and stand in line to take a piss, and you get some guy that walks past. I've been here 30 years, and he'll cut the line. So the Flyers fan, there's a little bit of an edge. These guys are there. They see you come in and do this. What's their reaction?
They love me now. At first I get a cross eye. Like,
Sure.
What are you doing? And then my banter, so I'm one of those weirdo guys that Google the goalie, and I want to find out what his name, his first name, where he's from, where he lives. Does he live with his mom? What he had for dinner? If his girlfriend's ugly or not? And I will bust balls.
That's great.
when
I
you-
love that.
I like that. I like that.
That's right up your alley,
It's
dude.
right up my alley. Yeah.
That's
I
amazing.
appreciate the effort
You're
there.
pissed you didn't think of it first.
And I tell you, for instance, when the Flyers were good this season, the very beginning of the season.
When was that?
Like 3
Boston-
games.
when
Before they lost 10 in a row
came,
3
The
times?
first 10
They
games.
crushed Boston.
Yeah.
Jeremy Swayman was in net, and I made a video. I was killing him all. Jeremy, I was doing the Daryl chant, Jeremy, all night long. I got the whole half of the stadium was calling Jeremy. He gave up 6 goals that day. So, it's things like that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, goalies. I know they can hear me because I'm right there. You know what I mean? And I'm loud. And when play's happening, everybody's really quiet. But they started to take to me because, I didn't. First off, I never go below the belt. I never curse, and I never turn down a picture. If you're with an opposing team, you're with my team. Doesn't matter. I take a picture. Now, if you're with an opposing team, I'll cover up the shield. I'll cover up the shield,
Right.
or I'll put a hand in front of your face so that the picture is just me with a hand in front of your face. But beyond that, and you know what? They start to like that, and then the Flyers started to like it because they started to show my face on all the different things. So it kind of grew. Sixers are a little bit harder. The Sixers, when they show me, people get excited, but they're not as excited because the Sixers are really good and not everybody's paying attention.
Right.
Sixers are, they're not always looking up at the screen where the Flyers people are always looking up at the screen.
Makes sense.
When the Eagles people see, you hear an audible reaction because there's a lot of kids or they'll see me and they'll start to just get excited because I take pictures with everybody. Nobody gets turned down. And when you see me,
if my kid wanted a picture, though, I'd smack him upside his head. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So it's almost like
How many assholes do you get like this at the game?
Of course he gets them.
Right?
I actually think he handles it relatively well. He has to get it, right?
I mean,
listen. I get hate all.
No, if my
the time.
kid wanted to take a picture, I love it.
I think it's pretty cool. I gotta be honest with you. It shows like the passion for.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I really do.
you can't have a bad day though.
But what's the goal,
Right?
Like,
actually,
I'll let Jimmy answer.
dude, the
Like, you
goal
can't
is
have a
to be
bad
like
day.
a super fan, to show support, stand out for our team.
I think he wants to also give Philly sports fans a better name for themselves.
That's
too, right?
that's the first step.
That's a good
That
point,
is the
too.
first step.
Yeah, 'cause you
look
got
at
people
DJ
like
being
you.
But
insightful.
does this give us a better
Yes,
name?
it shows.
Like I see the shoulder
It's not-
pad, and I'm like,
it's not a negative
But if
way.
he's
It's not-
acting, in a
I've gotten
professional
text-
manner, hold
hold
on,
on. I've gotten text messages from
what's-
buddies from out of market. Like I got a good buddy that lives in the Washington area,
jealousy.
and he texted me. He said, with the shoulder pad, he said, he's not going in. He knows that, right? I'm like, I'm sure he knows that.
Yeah, but
It's kind of funny, but
But at the same
look at
time,
it this way.
he's taking pictures with whoever.
I
wants to
agree.
take pictures.
And
So
he's
they're
not
like, oh,
cursing.
and
He's
he's
not
like,
doing,
fans aren't
and here's the
assholes.
other thing, he's doing
What's-
things for
all right.
charity. I'm sure you do a
What's
lot of
the,
things for
um,
charities.
What's the typical reputation of a Philly fan?
An
you.
asshole.
Asshole.
You.
Yeah.
You.
Okay.
Asshole,
Asshole drunk. Although I'm not usually drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the typical reputation of a Philly.
Fair.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if you can put a positive spin on it. When we were at the Tennessee game, remember walking over the bridge
Yes,
to the game,
yes.
and the youth football team was out there collecting money for their
Yes.
team? I walked up to one of them and I handed them like $2 or $3, and I said, "Here, just so you know, not every Eagles fan is an asshole."
I gave him a 20 afterwards. Said, ignore that old man.
Yeah, you say you gave him $2 or $3?
Yeah,
Cheap ass.
that's what I had.
Come on, man.
See, but so you can't have a bad day. There's a target on you. I was on the ride out here. I painted my face once. We went down to Jacksonville for a game. This was 2002, so a couple of years before the Super Bowl. And we had the wigs on, and the main thing was we want to see our friends at home watching the game. We want to
To be on
The camera,
television,
they
to
wanted
them
to
to
be
see
on-
us. Yes.
but we lost. It was the first game that Donovan didn't throw up in. And like we were getting it walking out of there, and like we hated everybody. Right. So I imagine you go to these away games,
Oh, yeah.
they're all painted up. Do you get heat from those fans? And you like
On
I was
you-
getting ready
yeah,
to
when
say
you leave.
you can't
Yeah, I'm sure
you
you
can't
get
have
that.
a bad day. Right? You can't
So,
have a bad day.
I mean, when you think about it, like doing this for a living doesn't suck.
What do you mean what do you mean for a living?
So this is what I do now. I'm
This
a
is
Philly
your
sports
living.
guy. This is what I do
I'm
for a living.
embarrassed.
Really? Is it like trademark?
Come on,
It's
Nate.
trademark.
Well, he's got
Oh,
a
wow.
logo. Yeah. I mean,
You guys are talking so much. I gotta do some type of sound drop. It was almost perfect because Jim was going up. Oh no, Deke, you were saying it. You was like, I'm going up to the tennis to the team to give him some money. I thought we were gonna drop this.
I'll go home and get your fucking shine box.
That's what I was going to say, but I was like, let him finish his story.
Thank you for that.
wait,
I
so you did this
appreciate
earlier because I saw the contractor truck out there. I assumed it was yours. Maybe I'm assuming the wrong thing.
No, it is mine.
Okay.
So I'm a mason
Okay.
and a chimney sweep by trade.
Right.
Okay.
I had my own business. I'm a Navy veteran. And
Thank you.
it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And afterwards, I'm one of those people that doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up.
I don't think
So
you're the only one.
Yeah. Guilty of that.
and so I owned a chimney and masonry company called United States Masonry and Chimney, USMC, because I couldn't
Nice.
figure out how to use Navy in chimney and masonry. And I had to close the business because it was just hard to find somebody. And I'm probably the second oldest guy in the room right now.
Oh.
This
This
All right,
guy's
go ahead.
That's very accurate.
Go ahead.
Now Deke's gonna come at you.
And how old?
I think he's in a different decade than you.
No, he's going back to Rick McLeish in the 70s.
He's still in his 40s, Deke. Just keep dreaming.
Are you still in your 40s?
Barely.
He's
Okay.
hanging on. So there you go.
I'll be 50 this year, actually.
There you go.
Oh, I'll be 58 in 2 weeks.
Well, then
You
there
look
you
it.
go. Then you take the.
You take that.
You actually look outstanding
Don't tell
for
him
58.
this.
Thanks.
Don't
Yeah.
tell him
No,
this.
he does.
I was gonna
He
say,
doesn't
because
have
I
a
wasn't
reach.
sure about this guy over here.
I'm
He's
one of the
68.
younger ones.
Smitty's gray. See, you don't have a wrinkle on your forehead. I mean, you look pretty good for
feed
thanks.
into this.
No.
Are you really
You
50?
might-
Are
you
you
might
really
have to
turning
live with
58?
You have
Stop.
good genes. You should be happy about
I
this.
know,
Aside,
but I don't. I gotta live with
aside
it.
from
Yes,
your,
I am.
aside from your
Oh,
Ellen
man.
DeGeneres hair, you got some
Ellen
good genes
DeGeneres
going on. You're
I thought you were older.
People are jealous.
Shut up, Nate.
I swear to God, I
go
thought
from
you were
a
older.
compliment to a smack in the head. What the hell, man?
Yo, I thought you were older. I'm being honest.
Okay.
Thought he was older.
I did. I thought he was in his 60s.
Oh man!
Not like late 60s. It wasn't like.
Looks wise or
Just
what?
because he invokes Jimmy
Yeah,
Fox and
no, I
you
just thought you were older.
the
That's
Baker
all.
Bowl
No.
a lot doesn't
No.
mean anything.
No. Go ahead. We derailed once again. So
Yeah,
It'll
what
keep
happened.
going.
You
I
derailed.
forgot what I was talking about. So
You were talking
Me too.
about getting like when the
This
away
is your-
games and getting shit on from fans.
oh, so like I'll
And-
taking a walk.
USMC, that's what you were
Yeah,
talking
oh,
about.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
what it's
the
called.
contractor truck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I closed the business because picking up rocks and putting them down, whether in a brick form, stone. Like I'm a stone mason. Like I knew how to do stone masonry. I when we went over to Italy, I learned from my cousins over there
That's
and was
cool.
able to bring it
Wow.
back here. And like stone masonry is hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, it's a pain in the ass. And picking up rocks and putting them down, whether it's a brick or stone or block or whatever, sucks.
Yeah.
And then, especially when you're a chimney guy and you got to do it up really high.
You got to change the flue and you got to do all that stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So I, it was like, all right, let me try to figure out something else. And I can bartend. I mean, I have a hotel restaurant management degree, so I've I managed the Chart House for a little while and Sizzlers back in the
I've been there.
day and stuff like that.
I mean, if I come into the Marriott Philly and you're at the front desk, I don't know, man. I'm going to the Hilton. You can come out.
That's all right. You don't want you there.
There's 15 more behind you willing to take a room.
So I mean, it's like it's evolved, And when I say that I do this for a living, well, it's not paying the greatest. You know what I mean? It's work.
Okay.
This is hard to do.
So are you doing appearances on the weekly? I mean, what do you?
Not on the weekly, but I do. Like for instance, like this weekend is crazy busy for me. So like when we were talking about when I was thinking about coming on to here, I was like, all right, I'm going to come up as the Eagles guy because I'm going to be the Eagles guy all weekend long. I'm literally going to 2 events. One's a veteran event, a charity event,
Cool.
and then another event that's happening for a buddy of mine whose kid is leukemia. So
Go ahead and plug them. Plug the names. Plug the events.
Yes.
I was going to get them in a little. So,
Okay,
so
definitely.
the
We'd be
first
happy
one
to
is
contribute.
the Nearly Naked Ruck March. It's for the 23rd Veterans Organization.
Okay.
It's happening over at Valley Forge Military Academy. They're doing a 10-mile ruck march.
Nearly naked. That sounds like a beer alley.
and then the other one,
In his crew outfit.
is Fighting for Freddie, or I'm sure I'm getting this wrong right now, and I'll do it better.
Yeah, we'll
once I
give you a
look it
chance
Yeah,
at the
plug
end.
the
to
organization,
whatever
definitely.
you got going on. Charity.
It's a buddy of mine. It's a buddy of mine. He works for. He does podcasting as well for
Okay.
Edge of Philly Sports.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, we
Freddie
know.
Burns.
Yeah. Freddie
Okay.
Burns.
Yeah,
Freddie
we know
Burns
Freddie
is-
Burns.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
His
That's
son,
really-
his son is.
Yeah.
you know,
I saw that.
really acute. Oh, I read it, and it was
Yeah.
like I could spell it out. I can't read it.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I'm going to be doing those events.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to come do this, especially after I the only reason why I started to even follow you guys is because of this asshole over here busting my balls, and I'm going back and forth with him, and it's like there's sometimes when.
We're just playing
When-
around. He's just playing around, though. He's a good dude.
There's a tongue in cheek when I bust
Right,
balls.
right.
There
Well,
is.
that's what he said. We were saying that when we were trying to get you on. He was like, this would be good. Like, it
Yeah,
would just
it's
be
like-
fun for us to hang out.
Yeah, because ultimately, like I get it, but like you could tell when somebody doesn't like me and somebody is busting my balls just to bust my balls.
That's him.
And that's what I said. You don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
You should actually what's on your resume, buddy? I served my country. What did you do there, asshole?
I can tell you some stories about Flag.
You could.
He knows some people that think he's an asshole. So
Plenty. No, you know what? I did reach out and I kind of, yes, it was busting
You were an
balls.
asshole.
A little bit of an asshole, but at the same time, he kind of threw it back instead of just blocking me and be like, "Screw this guy," whatever.
Yeah, you guys went at it.
He
a little
went. He
bit.
came back, and then he mentioned doing some charity, and I was like, "Nah, maybe he's got a story to tell. Maybe I'm still. You seem like a nice guy. I'm still confused.
Yeah, if I came in looking kind of normal,
What do you,
which
you're
is,
con-
Well, I know, but if you came in looking normal, I mean,
what
You're
do
not
you-
confused.
I don't know. We get calls about
Yeah,
Tiger King if you
You're
came in
not
looking
confused.
normal.
You're being
I get
timid
that.
right now.
That's
Right,
lately.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
happens lately.
You're not
Nick,
confused,
Nick,
Flan. You're not
Nick,
confused.
Nick.
You're just being timid.
No,
You're being
No, I'm
nice.
actually being nice
You're
because
being nice.
You're not confused. You
You're
just
not
realize
confused.
That
Well,
he
I
body
realize I actually
slammed
sort
you,
of
but
like
you
the
got
guy.
nothing.
I'm sort of.
You're
you know,
being
busy.
nice.
I'm
Stop
being
it.
nice.
He's
Yeah.
growing on you. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I still
Oh my God!
listen. You're doing the charity thing, and I applaud you.
You should have
for that.
took that bet, Smitty.
I told you.
You
I
should have
already
took that
knew.
bet.
I already knew he was pussing out.
So I listen. I applaud the charity, but there's still a part of me that goes, "This guy just wants free tickets, attention."
I don't think so.
After hearing your talk, I don't think I believe that anymore.
So then
So-
admit you're wrong,
I'll be honest.
I can admit I'm wrong.
and you were wrong about the Palestra.
but there is a level of attention seeking here.
I don't think
That
that's.
Only
maybe
down
he's putting it
Villanova.
for good.
Yeah, so
but there's a level of attention seeking.
I don't
here.
think it is. I
So-
think it's more about being a Philly sports fan and then showing what a class fan could be, right? Because he talks about not cursing. And
Have you
second of
not
all-
seen the putty episode in Seinfeld?
Hold on, would you let me finish? And then not only is he being a Philly fan, but then he's giving back to charity. So that's where, to me,
I
like,
will not knock that at
you
all.
can't
I
knock
applaud
it,
that.
right? Like,
No.
even if you think he's
Even my
doing it-
snarky ass
even
wouldn't
no,
knock
but
that.
even if we
No.
think he's
So-
doing it for attention, he's doing for attention. It gives back in a positive way. I don't think any of us can.
Well, but he just
can
said he made a
dispute that.
living at it, though. So you're doing charity, and I'm sure there's a fee for your time, which is fair, right? I understand how charity.
Actually, I don't charge
Okay.
for charity.
Okay,
so.
fair. If you did, I wouldn't begrudge you because I understand it's still your time. Your time is your
Man,
time.
AB,
But so how do you make a living doing this? I mean,
Well,
I open a Luke Oil, change it to Philly Sports Guy oil, and I pay you to come out and sell Russian gas, or
Well, no, actually, it would have to be like cleaning your chimney, and I ain't doing that either. So,
he probably needs his chimney cleaned. That's
gas
about
fireplace in my house.
I could have installed that too.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, realistically, so there are a few things that I to answer your question that you keep asking, why do I do this? There was a point where I want to emulate what the Philadelphia sports fan is. By painting my face, it allows me to have a louder microphone. When you go and do what you do, people will look at you and be like, "Oh, you know, you're just being loud. You're just like everybody else." The moment that I painted my face, and when I go out and try to raise money, and I don't have my face painted, I get no money.
Right, you get called some Carol Baskin. I get it.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's in on the joke on that. Come
I
on.
tell you, and I get it. I've never even seen it before, and I
He's
get it
about
all the time.
Dude, he's about to finish you like Mortal Kombat. Dude, you're getting defeated tonight. I'm sorry. You're going to get your balls busted in this chat.
That's because we broke his balls about not really going at him like he said he was.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
but there's
But,
nothing
so
to go
hold
at
on.
him. If you
It's
think
all
about
no,
it,
it's all good
if we
fun.
learn
It's
the
all good.
story, it's all fun.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all
listen,
fun and games
nobody-
until somebody gets hurt
Listen,
or something gets broken.
I paint my face for a living. You don't think I get the joke?
Yeah.
You know, what
I
I mean?
was-
You better get the joke.
I'm actually
or else-
happy you're in on the joke.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I'm not. So people ask me it's all the time to say, hey, like they'll put a camera in my face, say you're the best fan in the world. I'm like, I'm not the best fan in the world. I am not any different from any of you
See,
guys in
You
this
know
room.
what? That's what I thought was going on, and that was my issue with Sean Young. I sat behind
Yeah,
Sean.
but
I
Sean
listened
Young,
to his.
we don't like.
I
like
listened
this
to his
guy.
bullshit during a game, and I was like, dude, you're not going in. I've had enough. Like
But
he
if-
was really
But
ridiculous.
if you think
right?
about Sean Young, like he was all about like I don't know if he ever did charity, so I can't say it, but he was always about Angela on the show. He wanted to act like he
big
was
hoop
like,
hearing. I think
yeah,
I called
but
him a
not only
cross-dressing
that, but
pirate.
wanted
And he got
to act
upset
like
about
he
it.
was the voice of Philly fan. I don't consider him acting like the voice of the Philly fan. I consider him just being a fan and showing what a fan could be.
Who happens to paint his face?
But that's
See,
fine.
okay.
That doesn't bother me. I enjoy the passion. I got to be honest with you.
What you just said is you don't view yourself as a better fan than anybody
I-
else.
No.
That to me is important
Right.
because at Eagles games we get these people who stand up and they try and get everybody else to stand up, and they block your view, and they're giving you shit for not doing what they're doing. And I just want to say, hey, look, time out. First of all, I paid for a seat, not to stand.
Oh, God.
And
Here we go.
second of
Here we
all,
go.
I can scream loud enough sitting down, probably louder than you can because I got a really big mouth.
Well,
So I don't need to be standing up and cheering. I can clap.
Hold
I
on,
can
we
clap sitting down. I can scream sitting down.
We got a tweet
When
that
it's a
can confirm
third down
that.
late in the game and it's a third down we need to stop, then you're going to hear me and I'll be standing up. Okay?
Right.
So you got to pick and choose your moments when you get full throat into it.
And it's in Philadelphia, I'm overly respectful to every other fan. You know what I mean? Obviously, I can't stand up during hockey games and stand up the entire time. If I'm playoff games is a different scenario. You know what I mean? There's a different level of amped up than I am.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So like I'm going to do that. But if I'm blocking people, I'm not trying to block anybody. Everybody paid for their ticket the same way that I did.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what that's about.
But I'm glad you made that point where you said, I don't view myself more as a fan than somebody else who's just sitting there watching the game.
No.
You know,
in fact, it actually, so especially at Eagles games, there's a lot of cursing that happens. And you can let
a lot of alcohol, 4 hours of tailgating. There's a lot that goes on.
Some bypass. But when there's kids around, you know, I usually turn around and I'll be like, yo, there's kids over here.
Yeah.
Immediately, 7 or 8 other fans will then take, because they're tired of hearing it too. When somebody's going out, F this, F that, F this, F that, and they're just being assholes.
I'm glad you said that because I feel bad that Brody has to listen to these gentlemen's
kept it relatively clean
on a daily basis.
Have you heard yourself?
We had to erase an episode because of something you said.
Oh, that's right.
I've been trying to be more mindful of Brody. He's just a kid.
Brody curses the most on
goes
this
to the
show.
Eagles games.
I get the
with me.
feeling
He
you don't
hears
take
it.
yourself
kidding, dude.
too seriously.
No.
And you take facets of what you do seriously, but you don't take yourself too seriously. Like your charity, you take
my
seriously.
fandom and my passion for Philadelphia sports, I take seriously.
Sure.
What I do take seriously is I'm never going to embarrass myself, my team, or my city ever. Ever.
That's good.
And that's what I take very seriously.
Right.
I am very like you won't at an Eagles game. I don't drink until after the game. You won't catch me. Not a sip. I'll take a little shot if everybody's doing shots, but short of that,
It has
I
to be
will not
Pops
drink.
Irish whiskey.
Pops
Pops
McCain's fine.
Good whiskey. There you go.
Pops Irish whiskey, the best whiskey in Philly.
There's more here.
There you go.
Now we'll pour another one.
So,
But
I think
we say
we've
said it on here many times that all the shit that goes on in the world. We've been here for so many just bad things going on. Sports is an escape for us. So to me, if I go to the games, and you're a different person at the game, right? You get to relax, and I've never headbutted a man for out of joy other than at an Eagles game.
Right.
That 4th and 26 game.
Yes.
Freddie, as soon as he caught that, the guy in front of me turned around and was like, the crowd said, and I headbutted that guy. Right? So there's a different level of fandom, and that's what you're going down there, and look, this is, you're here, this is making me feel good. I want to do this.
Yeah,
I get it.
You're hugging strangers, and you're digging it.
Nobody high fives in real life, but at a game,
but
everybody
at a
high
game, you
fives.
turn around to the person behind you. Somebody makes a big play, you high five.
Yeah, sure.
That's what it's all about.
it's the one thing. Sports is the one thing that actually brings everybody in this city together.
Yeah,
we are all sports fans, and when
I
you're
agree.
in a blue collar city like Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is probably the largest blue collar city in the country.
Sure,
you know what I mean. And when you think of a Philadelphia sports fan, like you have to be really knowledgeable. Like people ask me questions all the time. Like I put my makeup on live on TikTok, and I get hundreds of people.
Wait. Why?
you need to duet with
so people can see how it's done. Quit being an asshole.
That's
It's an actual question.
I mean,
the truth of the matter is that I get anywhere from like 100 to 1,000 people watching.
All right, but that
genius.
screams attention.
That's
though.
genius, though. You
That's
duet with
if
like
you want to
Kardashian or somebody.
so
like
that's
that.
marketing your
It
brand.
is marketing
Same
your
thing
brand.
with
I
us.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I
Stop
agree.
hating. You're a hater.
I'm just
You're a salesman. Come on.
No,
man.
you're
I am a
hater.
salesman.
This is up your alley. Again,
I don't TikTok
You know what
myself
I think?
shaving in the morning.
You know what I
Thank
think
God.
it is? I think you want to be like him.
Oh my God.
No, I would not do the face paint is not for me. I
But-
just couldn't do it.
But I think you're upset that you don't get that attention as a
No,
Philly sports fan.
No, I'm actually not. I deleted my Twitter account a couple years ago
because you
I
didn't have enough followers like this man.
No, I had like 2,000 followers.
he didn't know
I
how to
didn't
And
run
he
his
had
mouth.
2,000.
Yeah, he's got. That's fine. No. That's not it. That's not it.
I'm kidding, dude.
Yeah.
Busting your balls
I
back.
also don't have a brand. I like the Santa Boot First brand. I like being a part of it. He's his own brand. It's two different things.
Yeah.
And branding and being
Sure.
on the podcast. You have your own show, right? So you
Yeah,
want to
you have
plug
your show.
too?
Oh, you do?
So
Okay.
I do the NFC East show, which is
Oh,
kind
cool.
of my show, and I put together so that one super fan from each team of the NFC East when we talk about it, so we all have the same type of fandom.
Oh,
and
nice.
such like
That's
that.
cool.
It's funny when I go to the draft, like the cameraman from the NFL will be like, "Can you just stand next to that? I know you probably don't like that, but can you go stand next to that Cowboy fan over there?" And I'm like, you know that we have a podcast together, right? Yeah, we're friends beyond that. We're not, but it's
Wait. So you do a podcast with other guys who.
Super fans.
That are
Well,
super fans of other.
so
other
super
teams.
fans.
So there's a Philly sports guy in every city, or is there different?
No.
There's
not.
different things
There's
going
a,
on.
there's
Some
a
guys think they're
Commander
basic-
sports guy. There's a Dallas sports
Yeah,
guy.
there's
and there's a New York
Commando,
sports
Commando
guy.
to Commander in Washington.
It's like a Furby convention. I mean, what the hell's going on here?
Dude,
So-
quit being an ass.
The Commanders guy paints his face.
Furby convention. What
The
an
Dallas
asshole.
Cowboy guy just gets all dressed up, and the Giants guy also kind of gets all dressed up. He's not
The Giants guy, the plate guy, or no?
He's
It's not the license plate guy.
not
I was about to
like-
say,
not-
what is
not
the
licensed
what is the
plate guy.
Giants guy dress up as?
He's just a like a big guy. He always puts on like he wears all 4 rings, and like he's
God.
Does he have the Eli Manning face?
You at least like him the least. I mean, I wouldn't like him.
Is there any of the guys you don't like?
in terms of
In the NFC East fans.
so not really in the not in my show.
Not a
no.
show. Yeah, it's like we
we're-
said.
it's
I
a
don't
show,
really like
yeah,
Smitty.
I really don't.
'Cause
like
I run the
Smitty.
show.
I know you don't. That's obvious.
But
Yeah.
it's when you first off, there's nobody else that does all the other sports teams like I do.
Do you do the union, by the way?
I do.
He does.
No, let me ask you this.
He does the wings,
Is the union
which caught my
Is
attention.
the union a Philadelphia team?
Yes.
See,
It's soccer, dude. Like,
Are we gonna get into that?
relax.
We're not gonna.
That's
Relax.
different.
no, let's do it. Why is this? This is still in your crawl. Villanova's a Philadelphia.
Oh my
school.
God.
No, it's not.
It's a Philadelphia
It's
area
school.
school.
Oh,
It's
it's
a
Philadelphia
Terry
area.
school.
Are we gonna
It's
take
not
a
a
break?
Philadelphia school.
Such a nitpicky.
What's
thing.
their
We ready for a
mailing
break?
Should we
address?
take a break?
Ready
What's
for a
their
break?
mailing address?
Break yourself, fool!
Half of St. Joe's is across the City Line Avenue.
Only
Ready for a
because of
break?
expansion.
Yeah.
Only because of expansion. It started
gonna
on
take
the
a
other
break.
on the city side.
Because
of
they're
City
trying to
Line
keep
Ave.
up with Villanova.
We're gonna get the hell out of here. No, they're not.
No, no fun.
No.
I
We're
didn't
gonna
go
take
there.
we're gonna
That's a
take
good
a
one.
break,
I
and we
like-
can
I
we
like
can
that.
come back to this. All right, we've been going for
All right, we'll take a
good-
break.
A good cut here. We'll take a quick break for our sponsors.
Get it pops.
Yeah, refill if
There you
anybody
go.
needs a refill. If anybody needs to use the restroom, we'll take a quick break. We are here with Philly Sports Guy. We're talking sports. We're actually going to talk.
Show 150. We're going to talk sports.
We're
after this.
actually going to talk some sports. Yes, that's what we do here. So we're going to talk some sports.
I just want to
Hang out through the break. We will be right back. You're listening to the Santa Boot First podcast. InsurePhilly.com. We comparison shop all the time. Can I get this cheaper on Amazon? What will the store brand save me? Should I get a second estimate on this remodel? So why not do that for your insurance needs? Better yet, why not have someone comparison shop for you? At InsurePhilly.com, you can get up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes with top insurance carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, Selective, Liberty Mutual, Encompass, Kemper, and Berkshire Hathaway. Owner agent Matt Maloney provides top national carriers with top local service. Just go to InsurePhilly.com to get your quote online or call Matt at 215-300-9590. For all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, business, and Medicare insurance plans, make sure to go to InsurePhilly.com today or call 215-300-9590. Matt Maloney gives you the national carriers you recognize from a local company you can trust. InsurePhilly.com.
Yeah, that's us. I think this the one here. Turn the beat up. Just a little
We're
bit.
back already. All right. So can I? You want to give me my props? Phillies. I just called it last week. Since I'm back.
I'll give you your props. Thanks for hanging out through the break. Thanks to our sponsor, insurephilly.com. For all your insurance needs, give our guy Matt Maloney, the MPM agency, a call. Up to 10 quotes in about 10 minutes. We got you covered. Excuse me. Oof, that one got me. And thanks to Pops for keeping us hydrated, and our bellies are still full from fantastic Mamma Mia's food. So we're here with Philly Sports Guy, having a good conversation.
Yeah.
Flan trying to break balls, and then the ball breaking is going back. So we appreciate it. We do. We appreciate it. It's just what we do here. I was saying, like, before we came on, like, this is just a bar conversation. We see interesting people, and we talked about, like, the other sports channels, like other podcasts are getting Gargano on and Missinelli on.
Yeah, we don't care
and you
about
can hear
them.
those. That's not that we don't care, but
No,
those
we
guys
don't
have
care.
a platform to talk about that. What's it, 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, right? So we don't really want to hear that. We've had Chris Romanelli. We've had him in. I'm on the Eagles board with him, so he's come in, had a great story of just his Eagles experience, and that's what we look for. We had the chef for the Eagles come in and do our show with us, so we're just looking for
we got to get
different.
him back. By
Chef
the way.
Tim Lopez is great. He brought us some food, and he
Chris
brought the ring
Romanelli,
in.
Chris Romanelli was one of the ones I had a show that I started to produce, and I ran out of money. Was Philly Fan Caves, and he was one of the, I went through his place and looked at his fan cave, and
it's nice.
He's got like VCR tapes of games that he would record. So we were watching like an old.
So does Deke. You still have VCR tapes, don't you?
So does every Dallas Cowboy fan.
I want to have, if anybody can compare or compete, this guy, Smitty's basement for memorabilia, and it's just not Philly. It's mainly Philly, but
Penn
he's
State,
got
too.
he's
No
got
Villanova.
a ridiculous
Absolutely no Villanova.
memorabilia collection.
Well, he buys futures. So
That's not true.
You've been selling your Bobby Hoying collection for pennies on the
He keeps on talking
dollar for years now, dude. You're kind of in trouble.
got some
Underwater on that, right?
What else? What if you name a Philly athlete? I probably have it.
Little Chris T. Jones action. I'm sure you have a little Chris T. Jones.
No, I don't.
You got a cap
good guys.
Glanville.
Good guys.
Crap.
No,
Pat
You said
Falloon.
name a Philly athlete.
You got
I probably
Pat
got him.
Falloon jerseys in there.
I'm saying guys that are legit.
Reno
worth it.
Mahe crab fry bucket autograph.
No,
No?
I'm talking about guys that legends.
My
Philly
basement
legends.
has some stuff. You got it looks like it's wild.
Ron
in your-
Flockhart.
Your basement's wild.
There you go.
Ron Flockhart.
No,
That's
I got some
Nothing
McLeish.
prior to
Hockey.
2020, right?
McLeish.
Prior to 2000. You got a Rick McLeish. You got the Schultz. You got a hammer.
Yeah, I got a
autographed
hammer. Yeah, I got a hammer.
You got a hammer, Smitty?
Yeah.
Does your wife know that?
Yes. DJ's coming at me.
Wow.
All right.
That's aggressive.
I'm not even gonna.
Do we want to talk some sports now?
Yes.
A little bit happened in the NFL world this week.
A little bit.
Since our last episode.
insane.
Anyway.
Wait a minute.
So
So
let's-
here we go. Aaron Rodgers lost another player. Guess what? Aaron Rodgers is still going to be good without Devontae Adams.
What's this guy talking
I don't
about?
know.
He-
Go ahead.
Loves Aaron Rodgers.
How many sips of whiskey has he had? We talked about Devontae Adams weeks ago.
No,
Well, did he get-
the
the
trade
trade
happened.
didn't-
What are you talking
The
about?
trade happened. All the trades happened this
Right.
week. It was
Thank you.
insane.
Thank you. Right.
I was talking about Dereck Barrett. Big news.
Big move.
Come on.
Bring
Are
the
we
guy
in
back.
favor of this?
I'm going to tell you
Absolutely.
why I am.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. How many
Can
more
I tell
false
you-
starts can you
I
watch?
Can I tell you why I am? It probably didn't cost him a lot of money.
Do you have his autographed jersey?
No, I have
That's
the-
other shit you're gonna try to
You're
sell.
gonna
He's got the fumble.
you're gonna
I do.
appreciate the one that I have.
I
of
do love
Barnett.
I know.
No, the one I have of Barnett is him holding the ball as Brady's sitting on the ground with his arms folded.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
All right, thank you. See,
I had mixed
you're getting
feelings on
killed
that.
tonight, dude.
I really am.
I'm indifferent on the signing, but I'm leaning towards I
Listen,
don't like it.
Why?
I'm okay
Because
with
I'm tired of the dumb boneheaded
Okay, so let me
penalties.
ask you this.
And what plays does he make?
one of the
He's got
biggest plays
what?
in the Eagles.
I think I saw
right?
one. But
Two
Brandon
of the
Graham,
biggest plays in Eagles
Brandon
history.
Graham made the play.
Let's not forget that, like,
Don't get shy all of a sudden. Jump in.
like here's my
Fuck, you're shy now. What the hell's
Here-
going on?
Like, I don't think it's a bad signing. If he's not good, they'll probably get rid of him. It's probably a high cap hit for next year. If he
Years.
does what? Yeah, but 2 years.
You're not going to get rid of him on a 2-year
guaranteed.
contract.
You don't know what the guaranteed money is.
I mean, he's the king of
No,
almost
but
getting there,
They
right?
haven't
Yeah.
released the money.
and
No, that was
But
Mike
here's the
Malua.
thing, like, and I know it's not the same thing, but we talked about this.
It was Brandon
When
Graham
they
for a
saw-
long time too.
When
to be
they,
honest.
that's what I said. When they signed Brandon Graham, when Chip Kelly was here, and they
I know,
signed him to
people were
that 4-year
pissed.
deal,
I
it was
know.
like, oh, that's not worth it. Then it turned into another deal. I'm
Right.
not
And
saying
now he's an
Dereck-
all-time Eagle great.
I'm not
so
going to
yes.
say Dereck Barnett is bad, like is great, but he's not going to start. And bringing him in like more for less snaps, I think he could be valuable.
They like having 7 guys in the
Right.
rotation.
Exactly. And you draft
Yeah,
another guy.
What did he do that warranted bringing him back?
He can rush the passer.
Right.
Yeah, he gets the occasional.
he shows-
sack.
He doesn't get the sack numbers.
What, he had 4
He doesn't
sacks
get the
last
sack
year?
numbers, but he can rush the passer.
Yeah, but he has a
I
dumbass
think I
penalty
saw-
every game.
I think
He's
I
gotta
saw
clean it
Stat
up.
beats the shit out of Brady. How can you not like him? Every time he gets a shot on Brady.
I think I seen a stat on Twitter it was today. I think in the last like 25 games, 30 games, he's only got like 3.5 sacks.
So he's
Yeah,
probably
it's not
not
great.
getting paid a lot. So why not? What's the big deal?
It's a depth move.
Right,
but
exactly.
Yeah, it's a-
I
it's-
think-
yeah,
I think
that's
there's
the
a better-
point.
I
It's,
think
dude, you got
As long as it's depth and not Howie,
listen.
not Howie rewarded.
I
which
agree
he's
with
not
you.
for a while.
He's not going to
gonna be
start.
starters.
Yeah, he's
No,
not
I
going
know.
to
I
start.
don't want to see him more than 25, 30%.
Okay, but there's two things.
Wait.
There's two things.
Are you excited about Greg Ward being re-signed?
Oh,
Damn
yeah.
right I am.
There's two
Then,
things.
then it doesn't matter.
No, because all he does is catch passes.
I think the Eagles are being
Dude,
smart.
they're going to get Devontae Parker and Greg Ward's going to get cut. It doesn't matter.
I think the Eagles are being smart.
Hold on,
They got
hold on. Go
Reddick.
ahead, Smith.
They got Reddick and they got Sweat.
Yeah,
Right.
that's your edge rusher.
No,
That's
but
your
here's
two
the
rushers.
thing.
And if Graham,
Who
comes
knows
Yeah.
what Graham comes back from Achilles? So you have insurance with
He's a
Barnett.
guy. At this point, he's a rotation.
Right. He's a
guy, right?
rotational guy.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If he does really well, you have him for 2 years and you have him cheap.
or look at it this way.
If he-
And when you think about it, 4 years ago, before the Super Bowl,
Right.
Brandon, we had the same conversation.
That's what
about
we
Brandon
that's what
Graham.
we were
True.
saying. Exactly.
He-
Right.
He wasn't performing the way
Yep.
he is.
This guy's got a hard on because
Graham,
Boston
Graham,
Scott
Graham
came
was
back.
different though.
But at
It was
least
a
Brandon
Thomas
Graham
conversation.
wasn't
We should've
committing
drafted Thomas. We
dumbass
should've
penalties
drafted
every game.
Thomas.
Yeah, Graham was a little bit
Yeah, but-
different. He had a bad case of like he had 3 different
Yep.
defensive coordinators. He had played out of position.
And he was playing linebacker.
And he was playing linebacker and still performed. People forget he had like 6-7 sacks from linebacker.
Hey, listen.
You
for
know
all-
what I mean? So
Well, to your point, for all the good that Andy Reid did, Jim Washburn was the worst thing.
Oh,
that
yeah.
he
Jason
did.
Babin,
Juan
baby.
Castillo.
Well, led to Babin and led to Castillo, but that led to Andy Reid's downfall.
Yeah, Babin.
But Washburn was the link, right? He
Yeah,
started
I
the
agree.
mess.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it was
Another thing with
look at-
Brandon Graham,
look at
he's a good
Barnett.
run stopper too, Barnett.
Look
Ain't
at
no run
Barnett.
stopper
Here's
with
your
Graham.
here's your options.
I like
Barnett
Deshaun Reddick a lot.
or Ryan Kerrigan again.
Well, Kerrigan should retire.
Kerrigan's cool.
So that's
Should retire.
that's whose spot he's taking.
He'll
So
be
that's
in here
why
next
it's-
week.
It's yeah.
It's
That's
he's
all right, we'll bring him
basically
back.
your ND Kalu. That's what Dereck Barnett is. He's not going to be like,
wow, we'll talk about
You know
a
what I
name
mean?
from the past.
yeah. that's
First
right.
time around ND Kalu or second time around ND Kalu?
First time.
Second.
I would like just to point out that we started off with the biggest offseason NFL history with, Dereck Barnett resigned. Like, what are we doing? Come on.
It's a very
All
good
right.
point.
It's a depth
Quarterback-
signing.
Well, it's
I mean,
Not
but-
a lot of
Centric
money.
podcast.
I
But
get
people
it, but
keep
there was
forgetting
other
that they
signings, too.
tried.
Well,
They-
Reddick was signed.
Dude,
covered.
They
to
tried
sign
to
other
get
guys.
people, yeah.
Right. That's what
They
they
tried.
Right.
I don't get the
No, I'm
I don't
saying,
get, like,
we're
the big
starting off
miss
the
that we
talk
don't-
of the
Dude,
offseason.
Well,
They
you
got
can't get the big
Barnett.
wide receivers without a quarterback.
See, I disagree with
Can
that. I
ask-
disagree
yes.
with that.
Because
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to change it from this because I'm tired of talking about him already.
Thank you.
Reddick taking number 7.
That's what
Yeah,
he wore
I
at
was
Temple.
looking-
He wore at
that
Temple.
was his temple.
Yeah, but
number.
it's,
I don't like
it's,
it.
it's weird.
I don't
It's
like
weird.
it.
It doesn't
But it's a
feel
single
right.
digit.
It
That's
is.
what he wore at
But
Temple.
you know
He made a name
the
for
story
himself.
behind single digits for a temple.
Yes,
right?
I know the whole story.
Yeah.
Temple tough.
Right,
What's the story
exactly.
behind
I
Saban?
like-
They give
That's
him out.
a mark
They're the
of
toughest
it's a
players.
badge of honor
Yeah, it's a reward
for Temple
For what?
players.
A program that sucked ass from the last 100 years? Come
They were
on.
No, they didn't suck
no.
ass
They
for the
were a
last
top
100
10
years.
team when he was
I
there.
know. Al Golden had him go 9-3 one year. Great.
No,
Actually,
no,
Matt
Matt
Rule.
Rule.
You remember when they beat
They
Penn
were
State
ranked.
24-10?
Here's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
I think
And
it just
Christian
looks odd.
Sackenberg?
We're not used to seeing these single digits. all
Listen,
the time.
I
you
get it,
saying-
the cornerbacks, but the DNs and
That's what he
linebackers.
wore at Temple, and he's coming home.
You know,
I get it.
you know why you're not used to seeing single digits on certain positions
Oh
is
God, here's
because
the history.
exactly because for your lifetime,
Greasy Neal
certain
said.
positions had to wear certain
You're right.
numbers.
I
Well, yeah, they
agree.
changed
We know
I'm
that.
just saying.
They changed
But
the-
prior to that,
We
they
know.
didn't. And then they went to, it was a
Okay.
pro thing. because the college players still
We-
wore
we-
whatever
we-
number
I
they
agree
wanted.
with
to.
know.
I don't know if this is going over everybody's heads, but the single digit thing is fine. It's the number that he chose.
What's wrong? What's
Vic,
wrong with
Jaws? It's just odd seeing that on.
Sam
He
Bradford?
wore it at Temple.
Are you saying he should be a
Yo.
quarterback?
We don't talk about
He
Sam.
Roger
wore it-
Ruzek?
He wore it at Temple.
A lot of
So
sense.
that's why he did it, and he's coming home.
Well,
That's
quite
all.
Penn
frankly,
State players didn't have their names on their back. Now
I
they
don't-
got 'em. Like,
I don't know why.
That's
I don't
a
know
little-
why
He'll feel a lot
7.
better after he gets his 13th sack.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
That was a
I want
great
to know why
signing.
7 isn't
Oh, yeah.
retired.
For who?
For what?
Ron Jaworski.
Why?
Why?
For
It's a
blowing-
mediocre quarterback. Had a couple good
He
years.
had an MVP,
He
went to
had-
a Super Bowl.
MVP of what? He was at the league MVP.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Was he?
Super Bowl year.
MVP owner of the league for the Philadelphia
Philadelphia
Soul.
Come on,
Soul.
dude.
Dude, he
Don't
should,
come at me with this.
he
shit.
should not
Hold
be.
on.
He
He
should not.
owned every team in that league.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he owned the league. That's right. Yeah,
He owned every like. That's why the league folded because he had 4 of the 6
But
teams.
let's go back to what you're saying.
His
His
Is
Joe
numbers
be
should
bailed
not
on
be
him?
retired.
I want to go back
Why
to
not?
what DJ's saying about
Retired should be
off
Hall of Fame.
season.
Donovan's number shouldn't be retired.
What did
Yeah,
we
retired should be
expect? What did
Hall
we
of
expect the Eagles
Fame
to do?
retired.
I didn't expect
number.
the Eagles to do much.
How
in the
about taking
offseason.
out of rotation? How about that?
Well, Cunningham's numbers taken out of rotation, and they haven't done anything.
Their big signings were?
No one's
Right
worn
side
12.
is
Listen,
Goddard.
Why
Yo,
can't
yo,
we
listen
take
to
Jaworski
Smitty.
out of
Listen to Smitty.
rotation?
Listen to
I know
Smitty.
you're going to call
just-
me Jeff McLean, but their big signings were Mailata, Goddard.
Yeah, it was the
locking
guys
up
that
all
were
those
all going to be
guys.
free agents.
And they got a premier edge pass rusher.
so why are you moving all this money around and restructuring contracts?
Because there's a big move coming that AB thinks we can't get a wide receiver, so he's just
That's
going
what
to
I-
wait.
What
Yeah.
other big receivers
You'll
out there?
find
There is
out.
no other big
Oh,
receiver.
Are you
Okay.
unless
Are
you're
you sure?
trading?
So it's going to have to
Are
be
you
traded.
sure?
Julio Jones.
Is Devontae Parker a big receiver? Is that who you're talking about?
I don't know if I want.
Absolutely
I
not.
thought isn't Julio signed with
No,
somebody?
he's a free
Yeah.
agent.
He's still free
Let's-
agent.
He's chasing a
He got
ring.
dropped. He got dropped.
He's
Let's-
chasing
Yeah,
a
but
ring.
is he? Is
Don't
he
worry,
really want?
AB.
You really want
I-
him?
even if you had him for 9 games, I look at him as like the outside
He does say,
Jeffrey.
I don't think
of
they said he would come here.
2017.
I don't think they said come here.
But
I've heard
he's ring
bad
chasing at
things
this point.
about
He's
him.
not coming.
I've heard bad things about Julio too.
I mean,
He's a
lot
great
of
player.
These wide
He's a
receivers
great
got
wide receiver,
overpaid,
but-
like I told you.
I would love.
Yeah.
I
All of
would
them are
love-
overpaid. The only one that wasn't Allen Robinson. If you're Allen Robinson, are you taking the Eagles or are you going to the Super
No, the
Bowl?
only one that wasn't was Amari Cooper because he was the first deal.
Well, last week you were trying to tell us Allen Robinson's going to come to the Eagles. And I told you this is not going to happen.
He would have, but why would you go to the Eagles over a Super Bowl?
You wouldn't.
because it's
There
a better
you go.
team.
And they
Right.
paid him.
But to sit there and say that they're not going to get a wide receiver because it hurts, that's just you being a hater. It
It's
is.
not.
What?
Philly
Jamie,
Sports Chat, what are your thoughts on Jalen
Jamie,
Hurts?
what are your
He gets
feelings
hate,
on
doesn't he?
All right, so
Jalen
Give him a
Hurts.
chance.
Right, if you want, yeah, I still have to give him 10 more games.
Thank you.
10 games in this season, and I'll have a much better idea. I don't think he's the answer. I like all the things. I like all the things that he stands for.
Yes.
I don't like his arm strength.
Yep.
You know, and
That's
that's
fair.
the big deal.
Yep.
And it's the one thing that you can't really improve. You know, when it's funny. I do a podcast every Sunday with Jim Jeffcoat. You know, and you know he's got 2 Super Bowl rings and over 100 sacks. And when you
Yeah,
for
but
the
he got that
Cowboys there,
star
young
in the
buck.
helmet. Come on,
Well, he
man.
was also a Buffalo Bill too. And I bust his
Man,
balls
but
about
you don't
it.
forget the star.
Yeah, well, I bust his balls about it all the time.
Is Jeff Coat a local guy? Is that?
No,
we used to
no,
work
he's
with
in
Brandon
Texas.
Noble.
But like I said, I just happen to do a podcast with him every
Cool.
Sunday. And I asked him about it. I'm like, dude, is that possible to change? Like, can you get better arm strength? Well, no. What happens when you get better arm strength is that you become Donovan McNabb. You start throwing down to the ground because that's what the arm
When you
strength
lose
does.
flexibility, right? You gain muscle, but the flexibility.
We'll see.
You
We'll
saw
see.
McNabb
How
doing
about-
that. He
We'll
one,
see.
one season he came in, he
What-
was all buff, and then he decided that
see.
didn't work, and he shrunk down.
How about working on mechanics, footwork? Would that help?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not talking about improving.
So
arm
I don't think his
strength. I'm
footwork's
talking
bad.
about improving
Oh,
accuracy
decision
or
making.
delivering the ball.
Well, his accuracy was actually 64%, which is actually not so bad in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah,
You
but how
wanted-
many
you
of them
wanted
were
70
downfield? You want
But-
better numbers.
but he
downfield.
can't put a ball in a
That's
window.
The problem that downfield he's slow. He can't. You don't get
He
enough
doesn't
zip
process.
on the
Right,
ball,
right.
and that's part of the issue.
We'll
like
see.
he could throw it far, but that far, you better be
It's
well
floating.
ahead.
It's floating.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
AB
You're
loves him.
rainbowing it.
AB
Yeah.
loves you
Yeah.
now because you're ripping Hurts. But you know what, AB,
How
you
about-
can be
how
very-
about-
Ripping Hurts. He
how
said the
about-
same thing I said.
how about-
I like the kid
Would
We
as
better
a backup
receivers-
Hurts
quarterback
doesn't like
and-
you. He doesn't like
on
you.
my
That's
team
fine.
all day, not my starting
Do you
quarterback.
think better receivers would help him out?
You
No.
want Kenny
No,
Pickett
it's
and
not,
small
it's not
hands?
the problem with listen. We
Can't
have
get it out
we have-
quick enough.
right now.
But Minshew had
we
the
have-
same problem.
I feel like we have the guy that would actually like rival Tyrek Hill. Quez Watkins is one of the fastest guys in this league right now, and you can't get him the ball. Like I remember, and I've been on Quez Watkins train since the moment that we got him, because I know how fast that this guy is. And when we were at Pittsburgh and with the first game back from COVID, and they finally put him out there on the field, I'm like, watch, this ball's going to him. He's going to score a touchdown on it. He blew past the cornerback, like went down, ran 60 yards, ate a sandwich, picked his butt, and then had to run backwards to the ball to get it because they couldn't throw it to him. You know what I mean? They couldn't even get to him, and then got the pass interference. They stopped using him after that. I'm like, hold on, you got Claypool, who's scoring 4 touchdowns on us, and why we got a guy who's so super fast, but we're not.
That was Wentz, who had supposedly a cannon.
Yeah, so that's why I wasn't surprised. Go away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why when you asked me the question about was I happy about Andy Reid, once you leave Philadelphia, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
I'm a Philly guy.
See, I disagreed.
See,
all
yeah.
I was happy for Reid.
I
Why?
wasn't. I didn't care.
I
Were
was
you happy for his kids too?
So
Because of all the joy that he brought us, right? Like the
He
best.
didn't bring me joy.
Yes, he did. The
No,
best,
he didn't.
Yes,
that was
he-
the best era of
Smitty,
Eagles
how old are
football
you?
ever.
all right, then let me ask this question because this is very relevant.
He didn't make the
Smitty,
Super
how
Bowl.
old are you?
38.
Claude Giroux,
I don't
happy
care.
if he gets a cup?
No,
Yes.
I would be happy.
I
Yes.
could
No.
give 2 shits.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't care.
I don't.
I'm not
I
even
don't
the
care.
Flyers to my 4th.
Were
And
you
I
happy
would
when
be
Dutch
very
got a
happy.
ring?
Yes.
Who?
Dutch?
I don't
Yep.
care. Again, don't
Yep.
care.
So again, I didn't really care about that. Like I wasn't excited about it. I didn't root for him.
Who gives
I
a
don't
shit?
pull.
I did. I rooted
Really?
for that.
That's cool. You're a winner.
Because you know what I didn't like
Like
that
what?
they were buying that ring. He literally bought that ring. Wayne Huizenga, whatever the frig his name was, he bought that ring,
Mhm.
and I don't want.
Well,
That's like the Yankees did. That's what the Yankees
what are the
did.
Phillies doing?
They're trying to do. They haven't done it yet.
We just bought the outfield.
They're working on
Listen,
it.
If you,
The whole outfield's, but the whole team
Oh,
is not
God, here we
homegrown.
2008,
Boom?
they didn't buy a ring.
No, 08 they did, but right now they are. If they're
you
trying to
think
get a
about-
ring now,
So
they're,
you think about that, like
we're shopping.
Nola,
So-
Eflin,
who would you say created?
Suarez.
Who
they're
would you
all
say
homegrown
created the
pitchers.
08 team?
Oh, Ed
Gillick.
Wade,
Ed Wade.
100%.
Not
You know,
Gillick.
so he created.
Ed Wade doesn't get enough
two
credit.
World
and,
Series
and the
teams.
Astros, absolutely.
2 World Series.
Yeah,
teams.
yeah, yeah.
He's just not a wartime consigliere. That's how that works. You know what I mean? He's just not a wartime guy. He can build the team. He ain't going to bring the team over the edge. You had to get another GM to do that. That's what happened both times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But now they're buying. The Phillies are buying. Like the Phillies are. The payroll is what, 220 for the
It's
year?
top 5
Something
in
like-
the
yeah,
league.
No, it's
Yeah,
not top 5. They're right
Or
out. They're
top,
6. They're
it
6
was
or
top-
7.
It was top
But a
15
lot of
last
the
year.
truth a lot of their players they
everybody
traded
in
for
baseball
was
is
their
like
prospects.
overpaid.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Yankees-
except for
Yankees-
some of the teams.
The
Did you
Yankees and Dodgers ruined it.
Well, Yankees Dodgers ruined it, but somebody put out a tweet
But-
today. He was talking one of the players, and I forget who it was, and he was talking about the Pirates. Their payroll is $30 million this year, and the Indians
Oh, yeah,
are
there's
33.
teams that are
you know,
bottom.
or
I don't-
not the
Orioles-
Indians, the Guardians.
Dude, I don't
Orioles,
necessarily-
Guardians.
Orioles, Guardians,
I don't
and Pirates, I think,
necessarily
are the bottom
agree.
3.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree that they're trying to buy a World Series because
How are
if
they
you
not?
look at
How do you not?
hold on, listen. If you look
Harper?
at hold on,
Castellanos,
those are free agents. But look at the players.
Schwarber,
Look at the players that they
Wheeler?
traded. They used their prospects.
Did
Look
you-
at Segura,
Who? He's
Crawford
He was traded.
with our prospects, right?
Well,
What?
no, he
That
was.
makes-
No,
yeah,
he
no,
was.
no.
Look at Raymuto with Sixto and Alfaro. Again, players from the
All right,
Phillies.
Ray-
They didn't go out and buy them. They
All right,
traded their top prospects.
Hold on, Rayamuto.
Their pitching
I'll
They
give-
staff-
signed Real Muto to another extension.
But they
Yeah, he's already
traded
here,
for
though.
him with prospects.
So what you're
What's
saying
your
is they
point?
traded, but
They
they also
emptied the farm.
they also poached on some team. Like Rayamuto had to be sold because he would have
They
left.
gave
Florida.
up their number one pitching prospect.
I understand that. They gave up a lot.
And they got
And
real
and
moves
they-
at a
yeah.
discount because
Right.
he wasn't getting the market
Right.
wasn't there for him.
Right.
That's true. So I mean,
When they traded for Segura, they gave up J.P. Crawford, who
But
won a
Crawford
Gold
wasn't going to
Glove.
work here. He just had the yips. He just didn't.
Okay.
There was some
They
disconnect
drafted
with
Bomb. I don't know if he's going to be anything. 3/5
Bum-
of their
He's
Bum
getting
pitching.
traded.
sucks.
He's getting
3/5
traded.
of their starting pitching is homegrown.
No.
Suarez, Nola, Eflin.
Suarez is a trade.
Suarez wasn't a trade.
You can look it up. He's a
Ranger
trade.
Suarez?
Yes, he was in a trade.
Yeah,
Power
I don't think
Ranger
he. I don't think he. Came
I
up in
don't
the
think
system.
so.
He's a trade. And
From
I don't know
where?
who he was. He's in a trade.
Eflin was a trade.
Fred.
Nola
Eflin's a
was
trade.
homegrown.
Yeah, Frat. you're out
Nolan's
there.
homegrown, and Wheeler is not.
You got
Wheeler
Reese.
was
You got
bought.
Reese too.
Phillies require
Reese. Reese Hoskins.
Reese
He's
Hoskins
a-
is homegrown.
Right. So it's about like
I'm trading him at the
50-50.
drop
A
of a
lot of
hat.
people wanted to trade him.
He's
last
gone.
year.
When you get a player like Bryce Harper, you have to. Like what
No,
they did.
I don't
They
have
had
a
to
problem with it, but they're buying Jamie.
All it's doing is showing me that he's
Jamie
late
mentioned-
to camp.
Yeah, Jamie mentioned he doesn't like them buying players.
But that's the way to do it in
But
baseball.
look
Ranger-
at
It is the way to
the
do it. I
Dodgers
agree.
are buying
Flynn.
players. The Padres
Ranger
bought
Suarez
their
did
players.
come up with the Phillies.
Thank
All right,
you.
Not a trade.
No.
I can be wrong.
So
I-
that's 40% of their starting rotation's homegrown
it's
right
still,
now.
but it's still the whole outfield. I mean, it still befuddles me. They have not had an.
I mean, Herrera.
They've never had an
was a
all-star
Rule 5
outfield.
pick.
That's
He-
crazy. Since Richie Ashburn, right?
Wait, what do you mean they have an all-star outfielder?
They've never drafted a homegrown outfielder who's made the All-Star team.
Barrel
Since-
never made
Barrel?
the All-Star team?
No,
Wow.
Barrel came close that one year when they had the vote off.
Did it
Oh,
break?
Oh, wait a
Did it-
minute. You're wrong.
No, I'm
Where are
not.
you?
Dominic Brown, All-Star.
That's true.
Ooh.
Don Brown, you might be
He
right.
No,
turned- he
it's
turned-
not. You might be
he
right.
Came up.
Nah,
He-
yeah.
It's
he-
Smitty, you are
Fine.
right.
Yeah.
But other
He
than that,
turned, he turned a hot 6 weeks into an all-star.
All right, how did
And
this
did
turn
do
from
squat.
Yeah, I thought we were talking
insane
NFL.
NFL offseason to
well,
Phillies?
because we get derailed. I mean,
I
it
know.
seems to happen.
Well,
It's been a big week. It's been a big week for the Phillies, though.
It has been.
It's a huge week for
I
the
dusted
Phillies.
this
I
off.
think
I
the
mean,
Phillies had a bigger week than the Eagles.
Yes,
by
I call
far.
it-
Not the
think I
NFL though.
I
I
called
think the
that.
Phillies, the Sixers, the Flyers all had bigger weeks than the Eagles.
Sixers had a great week.
The Flyers
Yeah.
got shit for Drew. Who cares?
But they got rid of Drew.
That's
That-
a big. That's a big.
That's a
deal.
big
He's
thing.
gonna come
That's a
back.
big
You know
Right,
that, right?
Yeah. Well, not
Contract's up.
no,
What, is it
not
GM?
after. Not after.
No, he's gonna come back after the
No,
season.
didn't you hear what
Contract's
happened?
up.
No, didn't you hear what happened? There was a whole big thing where Fletcher wanted Drew to
You want to go somewhere else, right?
and then
Yeah, he did.
and then Drew said, if I go there, will you guarantee I'm going to come back? And Fletcher said no. So then Drew's like, all right, well, F this, I'm going to Florida.
Oh, really?
I don't think he's come back. I do think Johnny Hockey's coming here this summer from Calgary.
I would take.
Is that what you want?
I mean,
Does that fix the Flyers?
No.
Like,
it's
I'm
a
so
scorer.
I'm
It
so
doesn't
disconnected
fix
from
the
the
Flyers.
Flyers.
So here's the problem with that. Like, I've been big on the Johnny Hockey.
You think? I
I
think
would
he's
love
coming.
to have him here with Giroux. With Giroux,
Drew's
he needed to play-
35 now,
Yeah,
right?
doesn't-
Yeah, but
he's 34.
Goudreau is
but
not
doesn't-
a.
Yeah, Drew
He's
don't
not a
He's
main
not a
line guy.
sniper.
Yeah.
He's not a sniper. We need real snipers.
Isn't
real snipers, and
That's
there's not
been an issue for a long time.
for
They're
forever.
5 years
Yeah.
away.
Maybe
from being
since
5
Reggie
years
and
away.
Rick.
I mean,
they're at the bottom of teams that are anywhere close.
They need to gut the whole thing.
You know, the
They
one
tried
thing that
that.
I know that they're doing right now is that they put Ristolainen on the power play in front of the net. Not having him be a defenseman. They got him in front of the net,
yeah.
which is about the first thing that they started to do right in years on the power play. You know what I
You
mean?
would think the history of their team,
Big
they would go,
bodies in front. you know?
LeClaire, Timmy Kerr. Like this happens to work if we put a
Yeah.
big dude in front of the net on a power play. But
Yeah, I'm thinking
that's the one thing
I
in their
can't
history they don't
stand-
look back
I
and figure out
can't
work.
stand I can't, and Hartnell wore number 19, and like anybody who wears number 19, I'm like
Got
kinda
Mellenby.
thinking-
Bellamy was a good 19.
Alexander Dagwort, and he was a fraud.
Dig.
Dag.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Dag.
saying.
Alexander
He was a
Dag.
fraud.
I'll daggle something.
I said Dag. I said Alexander Dag. That was his name.
Yeah.
He
You said
Daggle.
Dangler.
No,
I didn't
he
say
did.
Daigle. I know
said
it's
Dag.
Alexander
I said
Daigle.
we
I
said
said
Daggle.
He's making fun of him. I get it.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't like, I know that he announces for the Flyers. now,
Renberg
so-
wore 19.
Yeah, Scott Hartnell though, like I can't stand that whole thought process. Like, hey, right at the top of the circle and just one time it.
No.
Say it works 1 out of every 30 times that you do it. You know, most of the time you don't get it on net because it's a wild shot. You know what I mean? Giroux was a little bit better at it, but you need somebody in front of the net, somebody who's going to deflect the puck and is not afraid to get hit with the puck. And that's why when they put Ristolainen in there, he hasn't scored a goal yet on the power play. But once he starts scoring those goals, they're going to come in droves. You know, because ultimately, as long as you are not afraid to get hit with the puck, you can like tap it or do whatever. You're going to be able to get it past the goaltender. And I could talk a lot about the Flyers.
Is the Philly sports guys number one the Flyers?
What do you mean?
If you have to pick
Of
your
the
favorite
Team that you
child,
root for.
No. So it's Eagles, but Flyers are 1A.
I get
and
that.
I will say that I did bleed orange and black before I bled green.
Okay.
So I'm real
Okay.
big on that. Like I said, I've been following the Flyers since I was 2 years old.
Yeah.
Back when I was in 7th grade, I used to take a number 2 pencil and write 0, 1, 2 and have little hockey games on because instead of paying attention in school, because I was ADHD, you know what I mean? I'd be playing little hockey games with my pencil, Flyers versus the Rangers most of the time, because that's who was good at the time, and kind of just do those types of things.
No,
That's
listen,
fair.
I think it's rare in this room,
that
right?
was me growing. No, that was me
You're,
growing
well,
up.
you're the only guy
We
that's
were-
close
we
to
were
Flyers.
hockey and football. Like we had
Right.
season tickets for the Flyers and the Eagles growing up.
Right.
And I was more of a hockey guy, honestly. And then like
Well, I
85,
years old.
90s with Buddy Ryan, I was like, all right, I'm starting to dig football a bit more. And I'll be honest, like the last maybe like 4 or 5 years, the Flyers, I can't get into it anymore.
Really?
Like, it's
The
just-
last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah,
Yeah, I struggle with the
Like,
Flyers
Even the
too.
bubble Flyers, like where everybody thought they were
I
going to
struggle
go all
with
the
the
way.
Flyers.
Ed died. Since Ed
Well, since that
died.
cup run, that unexpected cup run, when they clinched on the last
2010.
day of the season
2010.
against the Rangers in overtime, and they get in
In a
and they go
shootout.
nuts.
In a
Yeah,
shootout of all
and I
things.
understand why they had to get rid of Richards and Carter, but
Do you know? I
still-
don't know.
I'm still
Some
angry about it.
cocaine.
I'm still angry about it.
too much fun in Sea Isle.
Too much, yeah.
Like
Had
I
to
said,
bring in Brisgall.
So, all right. So they had to get rid of him because they were having too much fun in Seattle. So you trade them to LA.
One day.
Well, that was
no,
LA.
no,
Then that was
no.
LA's problem.
No,
Mike
you got to remember,
Richards was.
Richards went to L.A.
Richards.
Okay.
Carter
Went to
went
Columbus, and they got us
Columbus,
Voracek.
Yeah, but okay,
They got
but
us
one of them went to
Voracek.
and
LA.
they traded him for
Dude,
Jack
if you
Johnson.
think about that
yeah.
trade, it was pretty fair. We got Voracek for Carter,
It wasn't fair.
and then we got Simmons.
They won 2 cups and we got crap.
But they didn't win cups because of those two.
Simmons
Yeah,
and
oh,
Shed.
sure.
They
they-
won cup because
Dude,
of the
they were a
goalie.
big
They
part
were a
of
big
it.
part of it. Are you
Mike
kidding
Richards,
me?
They had a
Mike
goalie
Richards
that
was the
didn't let
captain.
anything
They had a
work.
great goalie.
Richards was the captain, and Jeff Carter
But they
scored the
weren't
most
going to
goals.
do it. They weren't going to do it here.
They
Why
got
not?
Close.
Not,
They
not,
made it.
not in L.A. Not in L.A. He wasn't the captain.
Richards, yeah.
No, he
No,
wasn't.
no, he
It
wasn't.
wasn't
No,
a
he
Downey.
wasn't.
Brown, was it Brown?
Yeah.
Justin Brown.
All right, so he had an A. He had an A.
He didn't have an A.
I
Sure
could have
did.
sworn he was.
Richards is a big part of
could have
it.
sworn he was a big part.
Either way, he wasn't a
They
slot.
were a big part of it.
Dude,
For
they
the
had a
longest
goalie
time.
that stood on his head and had like a
Yeah.
shutout.
Carter was a
every
huge
game.
Jonathan
well,
Quick?
you had
Yeah.
Bobrovsky, and you had to go down the road of freaking Briz, and it just
that was unfortunately.
Flyers
that
are
was
winning
Ed
the cup
Snyder's
next
probably
year, don't
worst
worry.
move ever.
well. That's why when someone's on their deathbed, which we've all experienced, you don't let them make big altering
decisions.
decisions at that point, right? Briz was a deathbed decision. I mean,
Well,
look,
this team.
I don't even know if Carter
I-
Hart's the answer either.
I'm
I
afraid
don't
just
know.
because I don't know who listens to this podcast, so I'm afraid to even say anything. But this
Text it to me and I'll say it for you.
Just say it. We're
this
good.
team, the Flyers team
Sucks.
has been torn apart by Holmgren.
Yep.
Holmgren.
Yeah.
We agree. 100%.
First off, Comcast, I feel like should sell the team.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
That would be
Beyond
the first step.
Absolutely.
you need an owner that
Yeah, like
Can
David
show
Scott.
their
Who's
face.
David Scott? Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Nobody
Ed
cares.
Ed Snyder would be is doing
Lindros
cartwheels
will buy the
in
team.
his grave.
Where's
right now.
Jay?
That would be.
Like at
How
some
about
point, I thought
Lindros?
Jay
No,
Snyder would have got a
Jay
group
was
together.
ostracized. Jay-
Lindros-
I know he was. I know.
Lindros should
I
buy
know.
the
Can
he
we
team.
was. I know.
can we go down to Tampa and talk to Pat? Get Pat out of retirement. Would Pat buy the team?
No,
Croce?
no.
Bring him
Croce
up just
doesn't
to
want.
buy
No.
the team.
Croce
Come
doesn't want-
on.
How about
Pat
Lindros?
never had the money.
Pat
I
just
know,
beat
but
cancer.
Lindros-
Pat's
Lindros-
living
He's
his
living a
life.
dream in his pirate
Living his
museum
life.
down there.
That's
I
the
know.
problem. That's the problem with the Flyers. They're recycling of players.
No, I want an owner that's a player.
But I don't because they tried that with as a GM, but it didn't work out.
To kind of sort of answer your question about where's Jay Snyder at in the early '90s.
I remember.
in the
Jay
early-
must go. I
Right.
remember. I remember.
Yeah, my,
I remember.
my wife was at that All-Star game with her brother.
So was I.
Oh, really?
Dude, that was an
And
awesome All-Star
she-
game. Messier,
she
Gretzky,
she
Leclerc.
couldn't
or not
believe
Leclerc.
what was going on.
Oh yeah, it was all. Well, Brindamore was the only All-Star at the home game,
Yeah,
91,
yeah.
right? And it was wild though. I got to say Gretzky, Messier,
Mom
dude,
went to it.
Mom
Grant
with
Fuhr, like,
Uncle
it was-
Steve. Yeah.
Wow.
oh,
Yep.
she made you stay home?
Robitaille.
We didn't know
They
each
knew
other.
Knew
Well,
Yager.
we knew
dude.
each other, but we weren't dating.
Damn, Gonzaga's about to go down. There goes my bracket.
Dude, I'll give you an old story. So I wrote the Flyers. I didn't have season tickets at the time. I'm a 12-year-old kid. I wrote the Flyers a letter, handwritten letter, requesting tickets to go to the All-Star
And
game.
you want to get on him for looking for attention?
I got
Get the
tickets.
hell out of here.
I got tickets 4 rows from the ice.
Right, but you
They
took-
responded.
and you didn't look for attention. Then you're coming at this guy. That's what
You know,
you did.
you know, they probably really thought your grammar was good. It passed the 4th grade.
Motherfucker, I got like 1,300
That's
in the
not a
SAT.
shot,
Don't
is
get
it?
started.
Is that a shot?
And you know where they got him?
Is that a shot at
Penn
somebody?
Who are you taking a shot at? Oh,
I
okay.
was just saying you had good grammar to write on the letter, you know.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the effort of a 12-year-old kid
Punctuation
writing
and
the letter.
spelling and all that.
Pretty cool.
All right, do we want to get back to the NFL quarterback
Get back to it.
situation?
Pretty big offseason.
Well, Deshaun Watson now is
Deshaun's-
going to be
Deshaun's-
suspended, right?
Dude, I heard that
He's going to be put on the commissioner's list for.
no, but I heard that there's another case that's pending that he might get
There's
charged now.
multiple.
is that why
right.
they haven't
he's-
gotten rid of Baker
That's
yet?
why they only paid him $1 million.
No, they signed a backup.
They only
Baker's
paid him
gone.
$1
No,
million.
Baker's not going. He's
No,
still
but
on
he's
the
going to be
Browns.
gone, is what I'm saying.
Jamie wants to say something.
Well, I mean, first off, I mean, he was getting girls off of Craigslist. Come on now, everybody else.
Oh, this guy
Those
this guy
girls
was
are
ready for Watson to come to Philadelphia. I said I didn't want him.
Oh my God, no.
Thank you.
No way.
What I said was you need a quarterback.
No,
And
you said you would take him.
It's
Stop.
not. It's not
I
that he
still would
didn't.
take
It's not that he didn't want him, but he's an upgrade over what you have.
Yeah, a
Okay.
significant upgrade.
You
but
might
he's
be an
also
upgrade.
a scumbag.
Listen,
Yeah,
the
You
a lot
have
of-
daughters. Come
So
on,
here's
man.
the problem I have with the Watson case is that any one of these girls, if it wasn't Watson, would not have done any of this. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have
Probably not.
filed anything.
Probably
because
not.
they do this every time.
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's why they're on Craigslist and they're not working for a reputable.
Well, some of them
thing.
are. If you read the reports, some of them are actually legit therapists that have worked with other players.
Didn't he
That
pay
charge,
them?
That's
that
where
charge in
he-
bouquets and not dollars?
No, there's
No, but
if you read the whole thing, there's some of them that did that, but there were some of them, and I think that's where it gets a little
But you
murky,
know what?
right?
Here's-
Paid
Some of them
though,
did
didn't
that.
he? For what he got.
But
He
here's-
I don't know that he did.
Here's the craziest part about that.
He's
I
still a
can't-
scumbag.
all right, but here's the thing I cannot get over. What Cleveland gave him and then
well, the
He-
guarantee.
gave him a guaranteed $240 million. Like, I'm sorry, dude. If you had 22 accusers, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Cleveland is one of the worst franchises in the NFL. Do you know?
They deserve to lose that
Do you
team
That's
know
the
again.
only,
what-
do you know that's the only reason
his
why they got
contract-
him? That's the
Do
only
you know
reason
his
they got
contract for year one?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Because they know he's done.
Because they know he's not going to play. So
What, didn't
he
he get
gets
like 80
suspended.
guaranteed?
He got 80 guaranteed. But the way the
240.
suspensions
No,
work, if that first
No.
year was a $20
No,
million
it's-
Dude,
contract,
the contract is fully guaranteed at
it's in the
240
hundreds
million.
that's
No,
guaranteed.
240 million.
What
The
I'm
whole
saying-
contract.
Hold on, Jim.
what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is, if he would have got suspended for conduct detrimental to the league or whatever it is for that first year, and just say his salary that year was 20 million, and it was 8 games, they could have recouped that.
Oh, I see.
His agent was smart enough to say, no.
Wow.
That salary for year one is a base salary of $1 million. So he can miss 8 games, and it's a fart in
But
the
he's
wind.
still- but
it
he's
doesn't
still-
matter. It's not going to make a difference to Cleveland. They still got it. They're going to end up paying him the
500,000.
236 million, whatever it might be.
Well, the NFL,
So here's their saving grace for that is that if he gets charged,
If he gets off,
If-
literally.
no,
Keep
No,
going.
if he
if
gets charged.
if he gets charged, that contract is
That's
gone.
no.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
if he
that.
gets
Right.
charged and has
That's
to,
Yes.
yeah.
but I don't think he's going to charge at this point. But it puts
Why
the
not?
Well,
He's not going to get
because
charged. He's going to
a
pay
grand
out.
jury or a grand jury
But
already.
there's still one they're waiting on.
I know, but if they
Because
If they charge him,
if they've dismissed 21 of the
Exactly.
22,
If they've dropped
yeah,
over
but this
20,
is a
they're going
totally
to drop
different
another
story.
one.
I'm not going to get into what he did, but this is, you can read about it.
listen, he's a scumbag, and it's fine, and I get it. But here's the thing: the NFL's in a precarious situation, right? You just suspended a guy for gambling
Yep.
$1,500.
And now you're going to let
Now
this guy
you're
play.
like,
right,
it's
right,
a
right.
and you gave him
Because we
1
do-
year,
scenario.
but you gave him
Yeah,
1
you-
year.
You're messing with the owner's money when you
But
you
you're,
gamble.
Oh
but
my
you're
God,
talking
dude.
about a
He wasn't
particularly.
even playing when he
We're
did
not going to do politics, but you're talking about a particularly woke NFL right now.
Yes,
where you've got a
yes.
Oh yeah.
Me
But
Too
guess
movement
what?
versus gambling.
Guess what?
And the priorities are very different.
Watson doesn't affect their purses.
I disagree. If you allow this
the
to
gambling
go,
doesn't
He
affect their
gambled
purses
when he
either.
was in
It could. It
How?
potentially
How?
could.
He
because
wasn't
if
playing.
if the general
Dick, the
public,
negative attention from the Me Too movement, rightfully so in this case,
Right.
is extraordinary.
yeah, but if the public gets an inkling that things are going on that shouldn't be going on,
They
They're gonna-
know it.
they're going to.
You keep
No,
believing
they're
the NFL isn't the WWF. You keep believing the Goodell isn't Vince McMahon.
Now that
They're
you
the
can,
same guy.
now that anybody can pick up their phone and place a 75 cent
I
bet,
got you.
every
I got you.
penny that the
And-
NFL
and-
wants, they're getting.
and-
They don't care. They
Don't
don't,
get me
care.
I don't disagree with your premise that what's happening for gambling is completely insane considering the
It's not.
circumstances
They're making money.
versus what's happening for potential sexual assault and whatnot. It's crazy.
The problem is that precedence has been set.
Yep.
Six games.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The precedence is set. So
That's
6
crazy.
games is what
That's
he-
crazy.
Tyreek Hill broke his kid's freaking
Yeah.
arm.
Yes.
And he got,
And
he
he
got
got
paid.
paid.
But
And he
that's,
got paid.
Yes.
that's the part that's
Ray
crazy. to
Lewis
me.
was involved in a murder somehow and continued
So he
to
murdered
play.
somebody. You
Ben
can say.
Roethlisberger-
Ray Lewis can sue me.
I don't
Sue
know.
me, Ray.
He was involved somehow,
He
some way.
killed a man.
Allegedly.
No, yeah, dude. It's cool.
You know,
For legal reasons.
But Roethlisberger,
say
Ray,
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Ray Rice only got kicked out of the NFL because there
It was
was
on tape.
video.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
but Kareem
Kareem
Hunt
Hunt's
did, and then
not.
he only got 8
Kareem
games.
Hunt. Like I said before, how did Lawrence Phillips ever get drafted?
How did Lawrence
video.
Taylor survive in the league?
Who's Joe Mixon?
Because they were.
Joe
that
Mixon
was
was
a
in
whole different
college.
time.
That's why.
Yeah,
he-
yeah.
No,
there was-
nobody-
Jalen Mills
nobody
threw a
up
girl
on that.
down the steps at LSU. Yeah,
Who?
that's why Jalen Mills.
That's why he dropped.
That's
right?
why he dropped.
Yeah,
he was
that's why he
kicked off the
dropped it.
team.
Yeah.
But I just
And
don't
there-
understand how you
I-
can give a guy $240 million. Like, and the thing is, all their fans.
you're
Well, he just
Cleveland.
said they explained it though. If he gets charged, it's not anymore. It's no more.
But look what they gave up. They're not getting any of that back.
No, they can't.
no,
So they gave up what?
it's Cleveland. Like Jim said,
Cleveland.
it's Cleveland.
It's
Do you think
Cleveland.
that's the only reason why they got him? They were out and they were like, all right, we'll just pay you whatever.
Yes.
Because I don't think he wanted to go there.
Well, they
No,
need
he
to
was
make
going
a
to
move.
Atlanta.
No,
He was
you're
recruiting
going-
guys to
you're
go to
going-
Atlanta.
Kyle Pitts
You're
came
going to
out.
Yeah, he's
guarantee me
recruiting guys.
240 million? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll come to
Pitts
Cleveland.
put out a tweet like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this."
And then
Yeah,
he tried to say it was some
they
guy
delete-
re-signed.
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But no, he was recruiting guys.
Well, they got Mariota now, so they're good to go.
I actually
Yeah.
think there's something there.
That's what I say.
I like Mariota a little
I like
bit.
Mariota
I like him a
too.
little bit.
So
Come on,
talk
stop.
about Atlanta. What do we think about Indy's chances now with Matty Ryan? at
I still
quarterback?
think they're
It's the same.
horrible.
It's the
Terrible.
same.
They're horrible.
Horrible.
See,
Same
I don't
team.
think they were a bad team. They got a good offensive
Good,
line.
you're
and
gonna
a
go
good running game.
10-7 again.
Dude, he's a statue. He can't move. It's not,
Make
You're getting
better
a 37
decisions than Carson. Look, I don't care which way they
I
go.
mean, yeah, you also
either
blew
way.
a 24
You're
to 3
getting a
lead in the
37-year-old
Super Bowl.
Matt Ryan. You're not getting Rivers. Rivers had a better arm than Ryan.
I agree
He
with
did.
you.
Yeah,
Watson
I
was.
agree.
It was 28.
Everybody is thinking that
No.
these quarterbacks can play till they're 40 now because of Tom
Because
Brady.
of
That's
Tom
what I
Yeah.
said.
Tom Brady.
That's why I
And it's
wouldn't
not,
have-
and it's not the truth.
Dude, I would have not gave up what the freaking Denver gave up for Russell Wilson. Too much.
Oh, I would have.
Way
Oh, I
too
would've.
much. Way
No
too
way.
much.
Really?
I told you
Russell
that.
Wilson.
I would've
top
given it
5
up.
quarterback.
Yep. I agree.
For how
Russell Wilson is not a top 5
Yeah,
quarterback.
I might have to
He
argue
was
with
a
you.
top
In
5
today's
quarterback
NFL?
3 years ago.
Yeah, he's not top 5 now. Is he
33.
better? All right, hold on. Is he better than Mahomes?
No.
No.
Is he better than Josh
Got to
Allen?
start with Brady.
Josh Allen.
No, he's
Questionable.
not.
Maybe.
How about this? Is he better than Dak Prescott?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You think so?
I think so.
Is he better than Justin Herbert?
Yeah,
Questionable.
maybe. Dude, the dude was a MVP finalist. What? 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Dude, I would not have given that
He
up.
took a team that was
I'm
rebuilding
just
to the
telling you,
playoffs.
I think Russ is the one sort of older quarterback I would have done that for.
What was it? How much they give up? And 3 players? 3 good players,
they
dude.
gave up Noah Fant and a
Noah
and
Fant's a good
bench
player.
guy. He's a good.
You
good
guys
player.
know my feeling for Rodgers. I'd have taken Rodgers over Russ every day, any day.
Oh,
No, you-
yeah,
no, you
bro.
wouldn't.
Twice on Sunday.
No, you wouldn't
I
have.
would've.
Asshole.
I don't.
No, seriously, you guys would have done that? That would have emptied our
I
whole
probably,
draft.
I probably would have.
Should have been another
considered it
question.
very-
Yeah,
I would've
up
done it.
front.
Yeah.
Would you would have done that
Feelings
for
on
Russell
Rodgers.
Wilson? Emptied your
I'm
whole
not a
draft?
Rodgers fan.
How about
Yeah,
Wilson?
See, I knew I liked
Wilson,
this
I'm
guy.
not a Wilson fan.
He,
Neither am I.
he likes flats. He doesn't like Rodgers. The scrapple thing. I won't hold
He
that
doesn't like
against him.
me. Jeez.
I just don't eat scrapple. I just don't.
Oh, it's the king of all.
I mean,
breakfast
seriously,
meats.
I don't think any
Yeah,
quarterback
bacon
is
still
worth
the
that.
Is hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, Jesus Christ. with
Is
this.
hot dog a sandwich?
Is cereal a soup?
No, answer the first one first.
Yeah, well, a hot dog. I mean, a hot dog's a hot dog. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, it's not a
exactly.
sandwich.
All right.
Right. Good answer. Good answer.
Would you would have done that for Russell Wilson?
We're talking about hot dogs.
I don't
You
give
eat
a shit
Scrapple,
about
don't you? You eat
wieners.
Scrapple, don't you?
Absolutely.
You inject Scrapple into your veins, right?
Not quite,
He's
but
built on
pretty close.
Scrapple
I
and
snort
beer.
it.
Oh my god.
He's got a safe injection of Scrapple.
Are you a Scrapple guy?
All right. Any other NFL notes? We'll start wrapping this up.
And if
Tyreek Hill got traded.
Dude,
That was
That's
was
going to
a
be the
ridiculous
fastest Miami
trade.
Dolphin. That team's
That
the
was a
fastest team in the league. It's a track.
Waddle,
But do they have?
Oh my
do they have
god!
Okay,
a
and
quarterback? though?
Tyreek Hill.
So who's going to catch them?
Mike Gesicki.
that's what we thought with
But
the
what about
Eagles when
Tua?
they drafted all those guys that could run fast. They all
It
could
doesn't
run 4
compare.
Tua's got an arm, but his accuracy is questionable.
Gesicki's good.
All you
though.
got to do is throw it long.
Oh.
Yeah, just throw it ahead of the
You
receiver.
don't think Gesicki's good?
You say that because he's a Penn Stater.
Gesicki's
Nah,
a
he
hell of a player.
He's good. He's a good player.
Gesicki's a good player.
You mentioned, Jamie, you mentioned you had a degree in hotel and restaurant management. Where'd you go to school at?
Wilkes University.
Okay. I'm just
You're
I'm
waiting
glad
for-
you didn't say
you're
Penn
Penn
State.
guy.
It is a big. That is a big.
Are
Penn
you
State.
are you a Penn State guy though?
No.
Thank you.
Do you root against them?
No. I'm not a college guy.
Okay.
Okay.
So there you go.
He looked at me
I-
before saying no. He was like, "Shit."
No, because I'm paying attention to Villanova, and I'm also seeing Gonzaga is
Yeah.
actually down with only like a minute
Yeah,
left.
Gonzaga's done.
Really?
Oh wait. Oh, how much?
45 seconds left, and they're down by 4.
Shit, that's my bracket.
Yeah, mine's done. Mine's been toast, but
Actually,
It
that
looks like
I had
Flan's gonna
7
win.
of the 8, the Elite 8. Still
Really?
available.
Okay.
Wow.
Now
I
Gonzaga.
had
Wait, so
Baylor-
no-
I
so-
had Baylor at blue.
So no
Yeah,
Penn
but-
State, a guy your age, a little bit older than me. Penn State's in their heyday.
He doesn't like them. Give him a break.
You know what? I
No,
was
he's
just-
not
I'm
a college guy.
I'm just saying. Joe Paterno was Bill Cosby in 1986, which is a pretty apt comparison.
And we
considering
didn't know
all
about
the shit that
Sandusky
went
yet.
down.
Man,
And we
shut
didn't
up.
know anything
Who
about
knows? Maybe
Sandusky
maybe
yet.
I was a 13-year-old kid who got a
Oh
cut-
God.
Oh, we don't have enough time for that.
No, but I just, to be honest, it's not that I'm against Penn State. I'm just not like.
You only have so much bandwidth.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're rooting for the wings and the kicks.
You kind
and-
of could compete with those guys at Penn State that dress up with the
with the mask,
With the mask.
shoulder
The
pad
three
guys.
guys.
Well, I actually thought about
Do
those
you
guys.
know? Do you know? those
So
guys?
I go because Philly Sports Trips does run some trips.
Yeah.
I wound up like going to the Maryland game, and I
Oh,
saw
really?
those guys.
Yeah.
And I'm
Did you
like,
wait? What did you wear to the? Did you go incognito?
no, I was a bartender, so I didn't.
So you just went.
Yeah,
as yourself.
I'm not a Penn State guy. Yeah.
Okay, so you
I'm
didn't-
not
okay,
going to get
all right.
painted up for that.
right.
All right.
Yeah, but people ask me like, would I get painted up for Villanova games? Would I get painted up for Temple games? And my rule is that I'll get painted up if I have a jersey. If I like the Philadelphia Stars, people are asking me, am I going to go to Birmingham? I'm like, well, the moment the Philadelphia Stars, because I ain't buying a jersey, you got to give me a jersey, and then I'll get painted up. I don't care. And it's like getting the paint's easy. You know, if you want me, it was like really like it's what all the other drafts. Philadelphia was a great draft.
Philly was awesome.
but Nashville was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So that's what everybody else is going to do that. In terms of venues, as much as I hate to say it, Jerry World is friggin' amazing. It's friggin' amazing. In Minnesota,
Did you go to Super Bowl?
I did not. I was home for that.
The Philly sports guy wasn't at the Super Bowl.
Well,
I don't blame.
Now you got something to beef
Someone
about.
didn't give you a ticket.
No,
So
I
do
don't
you want to
have.
hear the story?
Shit.
Do you wanna
Yeah,
hear
I
the story?
guess so.
Oh man,
It's
here
just-
we go. Maybe I brought something up.
I don't got all night now.
In the 11th hour, I had
Shit.
was given the opportunity to buy a ticket for $8,000.
Holy crap.
$8,000. It was plane flight there, direct flight, go to the game, plane flight back.
Yeah, I'm out on $8,000.
The reason why and I'm considering it. The guy
One ticket, right?
one ticket,
If you knew they were going to win,
flight and everything.
$8,000 is probably like, all
I
right, I'll
would
be
do
there
I think
for the win.
5 is my 5.
The guy-
Somehow
the
5
guy-
sounds reasonable.
No, this is a private
That's a
flight.
lot, dude.
Like
No,
you're
I
going
get it.
private jet plane and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
The reason why the guy only wanted to come home, he already had a ticket to the game. He was already out there. He just wanted to come home, and he was doing that. And like the guy was like, "Listen, you either spend the $8,000 or you don't."
Right.
That guy, M. Night Shyamalan.
What?
Ah.
Holy
What?
I would have bought. He spent the $8,000 to come home.
Holy shit.
So, and I thought about it after the fact. Like now, of course, Monday morning quarterback. I'm like, you know what? I could have figured out how to get the frig home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You drove.
You could have got me there and got me that ticket, for the, for you already got your $8,000. So really, you could have gave it to me for a couple $100. So I would have. But no, it didn't happen that way.
Wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, that's why I didn't go to the Super Bowl.
And last one, people you've gotten to meet in doing this, celebrities, athletes. Who's your?
I got to meet all of the Eagles because I do a lot for the Eagles Autism Foundation.
Okay.
So I got to meet like all of those guys. I've done, chants with Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman and stuff like that. I've met some of the Flyers now that COVID's here. A lot of this new team, I haven't really had a chance. I've got to shake hands with Will Chamberlain before he passed. Obviously,
nice.
I was.
Well, that was pre.
The table just raised over here. You feel
That
it?
was pre-Philly.
But I have stories. I mean, the first beer.
Will Chamberlain's cool.
The first beer I ever had was given to me by Mark LaForest at 14 years old at a Flyers Christmas party that I was working. You know what I mean?
Mark LaForest.
That's a name.
That's a,
So now
that's a
that-
I
blast from the
got to
past.
drink from the Calder Cup because I just so
Nice.
happened. And that story was I'm there. I bought the playoff season tickets to go, and somebody offered me a lot of money to go up. So I'm down at the bar, and this gorgeous girl is like standing next to me and like all flirting with me all night long. She's like, let's go back to the dressing room. We go back to the dressing room. Girl's gone. Poof. She's poofed. I'm sitting there, and I know some of the guys because they would come into the bar afterwards. So it's not like I'm out of place, but I'm out of place. Obviously, I'm in a suit jacket. It's the championship game. Here comes Frank Bialois, pours a beer into the Calder Cup, drinks from the cup, looks at me and goes, "Who the fuck are you?" And bam, hits me in the chest with the cup. Now I'm holding the cup. Well, what do you do when you're holding the cup?
You drink.
Yeah, and then drink from the cup. And then I'm sitting there. Now I knew Peter White well enough to be able to like, yo, Pete. I'm like, and now I'm holding the cup. I don't know what the frick to do.
Who
with
am I
it.
passing this to?
Yeah, like it's time for me to get this cup out of my hand. Like, yo, Pete. Yeah, it gave me a high five, and then I rolled out of there. It was like I'm like that girl. I'm sure was in a stall with one of the guys. And, it's like I already lost that chance. But I got to drink from the Calder Cup.
They'll come and go. The Calder Cup, there's chances.
Exactly.
The girls,
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Were you born and raised Delco?
Yes. Yeah. So actually, I was born in West Philly, but we moved out to Delaware County when I was like 4 years old.
We're out.
So Deke is a Northeast Philly guy, but like myself, he was born in Southwest Philly. So Deke Deke hangs on to the Southwest Philly. So
My roots.
I know it's but I grew up in Roxborough, so it's a little different. But
I grew up in Southwest.
I know.
Overbrook was
My formative years.
My mother's a Bonner girl, so
When
or I'm sorry, Prendy girl. So
Well, you know what they call. No, I shouldn't say that.
easy.
It's my mother you're talking about.
Wow.
The H on the hill.
We're at Overbrook.
64th in Haverford, I think.
Get out. When I was 15, we moved out of Southwest into Overbrook. I was at 64th and Jefferson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deke, you should have been the mayor of Philadelphia. You really should have.
No, he shouldn't.
Yes, he should have. He's been everywhere in the city.
He would have been
I
the better
You should have
prep
been
guy.
a mayor of
I just
Philadelphia.
would follow in a long line of prep guys being for Philly.
You would have
May.
been the better prep guy.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, was these crooks.
You're
Why is
right.
Kenny a prep guy?
He is.
Is Krasner
fuck
prep
him.
guy?
So is Nutter.
Nutter.
All right.
I don't mind
Nutter
Nutter.
wasn't bad.
All
No,
right,
But
no
I'm
politics.
just saying,
All right, no
We're-
politics.
he's
no
the biggest
politics.
asshole
I like
in the
Nutter.
city.
We're shutting it down. We're shutting down. Jamie, Philly sports guy, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, man.
You have a couple events coming up this weekend. You said
I do. So this Saturday at 11 o'clock in the morning, we're doing the nearly naked ruck march. That's run for the 23rd Veteran Organization, and they take care of veterans that have PTSD and have to reassimilate back into civilian life. Really great organization. And then of course I'm looking for it right now. Fighting Freddie fundraiser, and that's for Freddie Burns,
That's
his
awesome.
kid who's got leukemia. And so that's my Saturday, all day long. So I'll be all
busy
in
day.
full regalia. I'll have the shoulder pads on.
nice.
You could go into my link tree, which is linktree, link, whatever that is,
Yeah.
/TPSG, and you can see all the different charities that I do because I do a lot for the Eagles Autism Foundation.
Nice.
Starting in April, I will have the 30 days of face paint as I look at you.
See, I want.
I'm on board with
I
that.
want you to paint Fran's face.
That's not
We're
going to
gonna
happen.
bring you- We're gonna bring you in for
We'll hold
charity.
him down.
For charity.
You won't do it for charity?
Yeah,
If
If you get a certain number,
how much do we need to raise?
it's got to be a lot.
And you have
I'm on board with everything this guy said. I give him a lot of credit.
$5
came
grand?
in, we
Is
gave-
$5 grand.
Yeah, you know what? If we can raise $5,000 for whatever charity you guys want, paint the hell out of my
Book
face.
it.
Nate,
There we
Nate,
go.
you got
we
that
don't have to,
recorded.
we can paint
It's
whatever
on
we want on
tape
his
and
face. Just
video.
remember that. We're gonna paint whatever we want on your
we'll
face.
keep-
What I was going to say is, I give this guy credit. I was giving him hell.
He came in, dude.
I hope he comes back again.
Yeah.
We-
I may not paint off.
Are
next
you
time, 'cause I
saying
gotta
he
clean
won
this
you
stuff
over?
No,
up.
but you should definitely, dude. You should come back.
Say-
We talked about it. It wasn't all about him. I get the story. The face painting, I don't know. I wouldn't do that, but you know what? It's his thing. So to each their own. He's a good
Just
guy.
say you were wrong. Just say you were wrong.
I was 100% wrong.
Thank you.
And the other thing,
But you're welcome because I got him in.
and the
So,
other thing,
you know,
Just so
say
you
he
know.
won you
thanks
over.
for joining us on 150.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Happy birthday, guys.
Hey!
Hey, share your socials where we can find you on socials and
So
your show.
you can find me. You can find me
Everywhere.
Oh, just,
everywhere.
you know,
As the
Oh,
Philly
man.
sports guy. The Philly sports guy.
You know, I'm also a professional arm wrestler.
Oh!
We got a
You
table-
don't want
We got a
this.
table out here. We got a table
Let's
out
go.
there.
Clear the table.
we'll end it on this. Can it be quick?
Let me
Can it be quick?
Yeah, we
let
will
me
be.
give it. Let me give a
AP's
quick,
going down.
I gotta give a quick,
No chance.
quick plug
Dude,
for our buddy
AB
Jay
is
too.
taking all the L's tonight.
Quick plug for our buddy Jay too. Jay, Pops McCann's Whiskey. They're going to be at the Lost Legion this weekend too, from 4 to 6 on Saturday. Cocktails, music, and they're supporting the Michael Strange Foundation and Gold Star Families. So
Nice.
another veteran foundation. So
Nice.
McCann's
you're
doing
looking
good
to get
stuff.
out and do
Yeah,
something.
pops.
Reach out to
I
Pops.
got Monkey's uncle doing a lot with kids with autism.
Yep.
And right
Good
now,
point.
right now,
Lot of
the
things
money
going
line's minus 10,000 for Philly sports guy.
All right.
Oh,
Right
I
here.
thought it was 5. Oh, I thought.
Okay.
Oh, I thought
No,
you meant
on
for
here
AB to
tonight.
get
How do we
paid.
get a fair? How do we get a fair
Anybody
thing
want to
here?
take the bets here? 'Cause
I don't
I'm
know.
on the money line. Right
You got to
now.
do it quick though.
Well, now I want to put a couple hundred on him.
He ain't gonna be. He
You
ain't.
being like Calvin Ridley here.
Can we make this happen?
Dude, we're waiting.
Yeah.
The
We
table's
got-
clear. AB's scared. Look at him.
I'm not scared.
You have
You
to
know you're
warm
gonna
up.
get your ass beat.
I don't
You
know.
got
about that.
to stretch your arm out or anything.
Nope. The arm's good.
You need a
Your
stand.
shoulder.
The arm's good.
How about your
We
shoulder?
need a standing table.
Your elbow.
We did
Your
back and
wrist.
shoulders.
Nate,
How
Nate,
about
who
how
you
about how about
taking,
we
Nate?
do
Who you
how about we
taking?
do it for another show?
We did it back and shoulders.
I think it'd be good. It'd be a good segment for another show.
Nick doesn't want the
we're
credit,
doing
bro.
it now.
Nate's
Well,
like,
no,
"Ah."
some Facebook got lost, so nobody's
That's all
watching.
right. We don't
Alright.
care.
Yeah.
Video.
We'll
all right,
record
good.
Go
it.
Next
Facebook
time.
Live on your phone.
That's better for their egos if it's not on Facebook. For certain, for a certain.
No. We
for
need
a certain
we
person,
need this
they go,
out on
they
the
lose.
Go
world.
Facebook Live for the
We
match.
need this out on the world.
It
From
dropped.
Santa Boot first.
Yeah, no, it
we
dropped.
Go
Yeah,
live.
ours
It'll-
dropped.
Yeah,
it'll
both
show
of
up
them
if you
dropped.
go live.
I don't know
It's
why
on
it dropped,
Facebook.
but it dropped.
Gotta get out of here, Smith.
All right, so that's
Yeah.
a good reason to have
Let's
you
get
back.
AB out.
Yeah, it's a good reason to have him back.
He wussed out.
I'm back. We'll figure it out.
No, you.
All right, we'll shut it down there.
We'll
Thanks
do
for
the
hanging out
5,000.
with us.
We'll paint some faces. We'll
Oh, we got
wrestle.
We're paying your face.
How about this?
That's right.
We got the 5-year anniversary coming up
Oh,
in July.
No, you want to raise $5,000? Let's do
Five-
it sooner than later.
$5,000
figure
for
that out.
5 years.
Yo, let's get on the
5,000 bucks
for
He's
5
got
years.
$5
$5
draft
for the Eagles
night.
Autism Foundation. That would
Yeah.
be awesome. Let's do
All
that.
right.
All right.
what do we
Live
do?
on
Do we do it? Do
May
we?
21st is when I do my run. I do 5K run with the shoulder pads in the face paint.
You should do
Run
it
in
with
football,
him.
full football gear.
Do we put it in Santa Boot first name,
We could do whatever you
and
like.
then we'll know, so we know it's 5,000.
All right. Let's raise some money. I like this
All right.
idea.
Yeah, I
Let's
like
do
it.
it.
I actually
Let's
like
do it.
We'll
this
figure
idea a lot.
out. We'll figure out logistics off
Thanks
the
for
air.
coming
Right.
in.
All
Nate.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank
again,
you for
Jason,
coming
for
in.
coming. I
A lot of
really
fun, dude.
appreciate
Thank you
it. It
so
was
much
fun.
for
I hope
having
you
me,
had a
guys.
good time.
Yeah,
Folks,
we
thanks for hanging out. We'll see you on another Thursday night. We will see you next week. And as always, be excellent to each other. We out.
Yeah.
We out.
Touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly, from the road to victory. E-A-T-L-E-S, Eagles!